Three-time Wisconsin Sports Writer of the Year, Jason Wilde.
Is there anything anybody loves more than agreeing with Tausch?
Packers Hall of Famer Mark Tauscher.
I got a hunch this isn't going to be concise either.
Broadcasting live from the Everlight Solar Studio.
I would say that you are pretty easygoing. You're actually probably more easygoing than I am.
This is Wilde and Tausch, presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin.
Well, you're not easygoing at all.
Hey!
On 100.5 ESPN, the ESPN app, and Wisconsin On Demand.
It is the Tuesday edition, the year in review edition, because it's New Year's Eve. Are we making resolutions? Because every year I resolve to get in better shape, and as you can see, I don't really keep that edition. And I got a message yesterday from a fan of the show that made me reconsider how we have viewed this season when it comes to the Green Bay Packers edition of Wilde and Tausch on 94.5 ESPN Milwaukee, 100.5 ESPN Madison, 1430 ESPN Beaver Dam, ESPNWisconsin.com, the ESPN app, your Alexa smart speaker, streaming live video, Twitter, Facebook, YouTube, and, of course, everything you need on WisconsinOnDemand.com and the Wisconsin On Demand app. I'm Jason Wilde in Green Bay. Good to be home in the Wilde Family Basement Studios. Jesse Nelson is in the Everlight Solar ESPN Madison Studios. And from an undisclosed, but not unknown, sources telling me where he is. in the far back corner of his hotel room. He is the Packers Hall of Famer. He is Mark Tauscher. Tausch, good morning. Can you tell us where you are, or is it a top secret mission?
It's undisclosed till I get home. How do you rate this fit as far as camera setup?
So how do I rate it? I rate it as
it's better than yesterday.
Well, we can see your entire face. That's a plus.
Yeah. But is it? Because here's the question that I think we need to ponder.
In fairness, Jason, before you say anything here, old girl set this up, not old T. This is old girl setup. So just so I know you're scared of her, just want to let you know
I don't,
this wasn't my setup.
I'm a little scared of Becca. I'm not scared of Sarah. I just always want to be on her good side because I love Sarah. She's great.
That means you're scared. But okay.
The question that I have is that has it become a bit of a thing to find creative ways to have you on camera, but have it be, dare I say, non-traditional angles ever since you spent 3 months in wine country and you had those different angles then?
No. I wish I could say that it's like a shtick. I'm trying to do my best with what I got. I am not.
I did see.
I'm not an
One of the dwellers was asking if you were purposely trolling the fans yesterday by just slightly being out of the camera frame for every segment of the show.
No, I was not. I wish I was that creative and clever because I would do that. That would be something I'd like to do, but I'm not great at this. I think we've made great steps in our digital game over the last year, since it's a year in review type of show. There's still some room to grow. There's no doubt about that.
John in the YouTube comments, #Mini Tausch is back.
Well, that's better than Maxi Tausch.
Well, we're happy to have you wherever you may be, and we're happy to have the ability to at least see your face in our very large window. Is that a Pella window behind you? Because the window for your video is very large, and then you are itsy-bitsy tiny Tausch in the bottom corner.
If it's not, it needs to be. I know where we're at, the doors. I know I'm going to get Gina. I'm going to send Gina some pictures and make sure she knows plenty of work to be done down here.
And the bathrooms, too, so you'll be reaching out to Kohler. You're always helping these hotels.
I want to make sure everybody is up to speed like the Wilde and Tausch crew is.
Well, let's get up to speed on where things stand with the Packers. And obviously, yesterday, Matt LaFleur once again asked about Jaire Alexander. We'll talk about that. We got a little tiny, itsy-bitsy, like a little Tausch, little information about swelling in his knee. And Matt LaFleur essentially saying, without flat out saying, it's Jaire Alexander who's deciding whether or not he's playing or not. In fact, let's not. I really wanted to get to changing my perspective on this team, but we'll get to that a little bit later. Let's not bury the lead. Here is Matt LaFleur yesterday. I believe Rob Domovsky was the one who asked the question about whether there's a difference of opinion between what the team thinks.
Do you guys draw straws for who asks about Jaire each day? And Rob's like, shoot, it's me today. And
not officially. But we have found that Bill Huber has been the first guy through the wall more frequently than not, and he, as they say in Moneyball, the first one through the wall gets bloodied.
Is he your sacrificial lamb?
No, he chooses. He likes being the leadoff hitter. He is our Paul Molitor or Ricky Henderson, R.I.P.
R.I.P.
He's not quite as. His batting average is not quite as high as Ricky's or Paulie's, but he tries really hard, and sometimes it doesn't go great. Yesterday, he did ask the lead question about Jaire, and then Rob followed up. Here is how Matt LaFleur handled that.
Do you think there's any chance you'll have Jaire at all the rest of the season?
Yeah, I don't know. As soon as I know, I'll let you guys know.
That's not true. He won't let you know right away.
Like a difference of opinion between what he thinks his health is and what you guys think it is?
Yeah, I can't really get into all that. I do know that he's been dealing with swelling, and he doesn't feel right to go out there and play.
Bum, bum, bum. Tausch, he's been dealing with swelling, and he doesn't feel right to go out there and play.
Mm-hmm.
Your interpretation of how that was answered.
I think Matt LaFleur and some folks within the coaching staff probably feel like he should be out there playing. But I, as a former player, I'm always going to look at it from that perspective. And here's the deal, guys. We judge guys, and I've said this numerous times. I respect when guys fight through and get out there and play. But then if you don't finish the game or you don't play well, you're going to be judged on if you're playing at full health. That is the reality of football. The coaches know, and if your 80% is better than the guy behind you is 100%, does that make it that you need to go out there and play?
Mm-hmm.
I think Jaire obviously is a competitor and wants to play, but I think he's also been through enough now. These injuries will mess with you mentally. You constantly have to battle through and figure out how you can get out there and play. And as you get older, and maybe you don't have that, you've been scarred a little bit. I just feel like Jaire is at that point in his career where he thinks if he can't be who he wants to be out on the field, he's not going to go play. And it's easy for all of us to say, well, there's a little swelling. Oh, well, you got to fight through some of this stuff. It's the playoffs, baby. It's this. And it's very easy to say that. It's another thing to actually have to go out there and then you have to cover Justin Jefferson, knowing I can't do everything I want, and I'm going to maybe not even be helping the team. So there's just a lot that goes into this equation. It's not as simple as saying, well, Doc saw the scan. It looks good. He's able to practice. He's able to do this. So from Jaire's mindset, I understand where he's coming from. Mm-hmm. And there's a lot of times, I said a couple weeks ago, this reminds me a lot of the D-box situation where I think coaches and front office folks just have an idea of if you can go, you go. And especially guys that are high paid. And I think the players now are looking at it more from the perspective, it's more business, but it's also more, I don't trust that if they always say this, you know your body best. Mm-hmm. Trainers will tell you that, coaches will say, and if a player isn't 100% confident, that means they're not going to go. Because players will always push that envelope the other way. Yep, I can do it. Yep, I can go. And coaches will take that and say, yes, let's do it, until you only take 10 snaps and somebody that's super healthy is sitting there in street clothes that could have been out there playing when you're 3 snaps in and you're sitting there icing your knee down. That's what's happened here, in my opinion. And I think now there's no trust. And the trust is not on either side. Mm-hmm. And like in any relationship, partnership, if you don't have that, then everything is looked at from a different perspective, and none of it's good. And I would be surprised if Jaire plays again this season.
I guess this was better than nothing, right? At least we got a little bit of information. And I was talking to Jen, Gabe, and Chewy. Well, actually, just Gabe and Chewy. Jen wasn't on today. Excuse me.
Choked up.
I get very emotional when I talk about Jaire Alexander. And Gabe made the point that it might be unfair to compare the Bakhtiari situation with Jaire's because, A, the knee injuries aren't the same, and B, eventually David Bakhtiari stood at his locker for 45 minutes and detailed every single tiny little piece of his knee saga, right? Gave us all kinds of medical terms and the whole deal, and Jaire hasn't done that. And my point to Gabe was, and I think this was your point a second ago, is that the way it's being talked about or not talked about is in the same way.
Oh,
right?
No doubt
there is
about
a
it.
underbubbling of frustration and irritation, and I thought Rob did an outstanding job of asking the question as, is there a difference of opinion? I thought that was a really smart choice of phrase there, because it got LaFleur to basically, from what I gathered, kind of admit that there is, right?
Yeah.
Like, He admitted it without really saying, yeah, there's a difference of opinion. And so this is the kind of stuff that I am curious, because when Keyshawn Nixon has talked about this, or when Xavier McKinney has talked about this, they have both said, well, he's hurt. There's nothing he can do. Okay? Yeah. Those guys have his back on this. But is that out of loyalty, or is that out of a belief that he legitimately cannot play? Or what is that? Because you know as well as I do, and the former quarterback was among them, there are guys that are old school that don't think in terms of, hey, I'm not going out there if I'm not 100%. You know, the Devondre Campbell, I'm not playing through injury anymore. There are guys on the other side that are like, get your ass out there. We need you. Play through it. Tough it out. And I know there were times when Rodgers was frustrated with certain players, including Zadarius Smith in 21, about them not playing hurt. So how in the locker room, is it universal that all guys are supportive? Is it a different era? Or do you think that there are some guys that privately are going, man, we really need him. I don't understand why he's not playing through this and not even giving it a shot again.
Yeah, it's a different era. It's a different era of football, and I think as the money gets bigger and the scrutiny, as I've told you, the scrutiny now is crazy. Like the amount of scrutiny on NFL players is. I am so glad my career ended when it did. It was just getting into it. It adds so much more to being an NFL football player. So players are going to have players' backs on this. They should, because really nobody else does.
Right.
And as a group, you need to understand. And guys know the difference. If it's something that players feel like they can play through publicly, you never talk about other guys' injuries anyways. That's right. It's contracts and that you steer clear of. You talk about yourself and you talk about the team. There's no doubt. I'm sure there's some guys in that locker room that are saying, man, if Jaire would have been out there, maybe Sailor Naylor doesn't get open on that. There's always going to be that. There's always going to be those things that get in play. But by and large, I think the locker room is going to support their teammates, because it's not as if everybody thinks Jaire just doesn't want to play. If Jaire was healthy, he'd be out there playing. Is he healthy enough to play? And when you start going down that game, I think you better really be careful. If you're going to be a critic, you better have all your T's crossed and I's dotted, because that is a dangerous game that I know as an analyst I'm not going to play. All I'm going to do is look at the scenario, listen to what is being said, and what it makes me think is there is a lack of trust amongst the parties involved to feel like there's going to be any real movement on this until Jaire is sprinting full speed and feeling awesome. And I don't know if that's going to happen this late in the season.
Well, the Packers closed the regular season on Sunday at noon against the Bears.
No, Jesse told me they were playing Saturday. It was flexed.
Yeah, I was hoping Jesse would be right about that.
I'm glad he was.
Why would we
want a Saturday night game?
You love Saturday games. That's like you're always advocating for Saturday games. Are the best. Teams. You get a day to recover. You get to go up. It's still a weekend. It's great.
I don't know if I appreciate your impression of me, Jesse.
You should have heard the Coors read after you left.
Yeah, here, let me do. You get to play on Saturday.
I don't fully comprehend that. That's pretty good.
Far away from there.
I know. I mean, sometimes yes. And I don't know when we want to get into this, but this idea of the NFL needing an 18th game, we need to nip that now, because we don't need 17 weeks, 18 weeks. What are we doing?
Wait, does someone think we need one other than the NFL to make more money?
No, it's going to happen. My point is, it shouldn't, and we should all be sitting here as fans saying, all right, as you know, it'd be great. I would love for you as a leader in that press community.
Oh, boy.
To just say, you know what, guys, we've been sitting here. We missed the boat when it came to concussions. You've been very adamant that you were ridiculous in 96.
Yeah.
So as a group, what I would love for you all to do is to sacrifice a little too and say, all right, when the NFL does week 18, we're not going to cover it. We're going to go blank, because it's ridiculous. I want you as a press group, get all your buddies together, Florio and the whole crew, and say, nobody's covering it. We're not doing it.
Get all your buddies together, and the first one you go with is Florio.
I'm going to say something kind of ridiculous here, and I don't know if I'm going to hold
myself to
this.
Never happens on this show.
If and when the NFL goes to the 18th week,
I'm going to take the week off.
We are not going to do a show on this airways with Wilde and Tausch. Now, if the powers that be think Rutledge and Hamilton and somebody else is going to step in, I can't control that. But as a group, and Jesse, if we're all three together still, and this will happen in probably 3 or 4 years, we're not doing it. And I think, Jesse, this is the one thing I feel really confident Jesse will side with me on. Jesse, we're taking a week, okay?
What do you want to take, the final week or just a random week at some point in the season when you want to plan a vacation to be like, that's our week that we're not doing it?
It's got to be week 18. And even if a scenario like what's happening with Minnesota and Detroit happens, which could be, we're taking a week.
This just sounds like a weaselly way to get some time off.
No, trust me, that's not it. I just think at some point somebody has to say, we've had enough. We don't need any more. This is good. So we all on board?
I'm all on board with civil disobedience.
Well, it doesn't sound like it. It's gotta. It has to affect you too.
Yeah, it has
to just be everybody else. You know
right.
what I mean?
My issue with your grand plan, which very rarely do I react the way I am now and then not come around, but I'm not coming around on this because the level of engagement we would have to get from the rest of the media industrial complex.
Yeah.
And fans, right? Don't we need fans not to go to the games for this to work? Don't we need TV partners to say, no, we're good. We don't need an 18th game to air on our airwaves? Don't we need advertisers to say, no, we'll put our money into WNBA games instead?
Small.
Well, you would know about starting small given the video angle that we have of you. Look, I admire and I agree with you in principle. I don't think, especially if it's like the Packers next season are going into, or whenever we start with 18 games, going into week 19, needing to win to get the number 1 seed, and you've spent all season in 2026 saying it's the most important number 1 seed in football history now that there's 18 games and whatever else. I don't know if we're serving our fans by saying we're boycotting this week. And I don't know if Roger Goodell is going to give 2 blanks about some piddly radio show in Wisconsin saying, I'm not doing a show this week.
We'll get Waddle and Sylvie to join us. We'll see if we can't get Hammer.
Well, the Bears will have nothing to play for, and neither will the Browns.
All right, well, we'll table this. I want to keep this top of mind as we look forward because it is going to happen. We'll see if we can get Evan Cohen to jump on. Unsportsmanlike, he'll take off.
There's no way.
He works holidays. There's no way he's going to take off the final week of the NFL season.
I don't know. I've been watching. I haven't seen him on for 2 weeks.
Well, he'll be on our program. He'll be on our program coming up here shortly. After Tausch tells us for the final time in 2024.
I think we have 2 Pella reads today. So
except for that one extra time.
Except for that one time. Ensure your home remains comfortable before we reach those brutal post-holiday winters. Yeah, Santa Claus, he's a magical fella. Did a great job. I think everybody can admit Santa was fantastic. His elves, they can't build what Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin does. There's too many options, too many customizations. You need the pros from Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin. So instead of going through the big red fella, go to the great people at Pella. Get as low as $19 per window, $81 per patio door per month. Certain restrictions do apply. The offer ends today. Visit PellaWI.com to learn more.
I heard the full 60-second version of that with the voice actors and Gina in it. Yeah. And apparently Santa's elves work for other window companies because it's easier to make their crappy windows.
What?
I thought it was a bad look for the elves previously. The full story, whoo! It's gonna be a 30 for 30.
We've toned it down a little bit.
Those elves have taken a beating this month.
They've had a tough year. No wonder Hermie decided to become a dentist. So I want to get to something else that really jumped out yesterday. We won't do it next because we got to get to Evan Cohen coming up. But we need to talk about low blocks and low tackles and whether or not a strike zone is coming to the NFL.
Why don't we just start going flag football? Just put flags on these guys.
We will get to that later.
I can't walk as I'm a 47-year-old, so maybe we should have done this years ago.
Maybe we should have. And you'd be dominating the pickleball circuit.
A press corps that would have stood up for the player safety back in the 80s and 90s, maybe we would have had this no blocking before. But maybe not.
It's all my fault. More Wilde and Tausch. Straight ahead. Stick around.
This is Wilde and Tausch, presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin. Call Gina Della from Pella today, 855-PELLA-WI, and online at PellaWI.com/radio.
Ho, my back.
Santa?
Ho, Gina Della from Pella. You've been a good girl this year.
Is that why you're in here building new windows?
Santa's doing OT.
Let me make a call.
Frighteningly fast Pella team at your service. Let us take it from here, Mr. Claus. And Gina, next time.
I know. Ask for a Pella gift card. Right now at Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin, get as low as $19 per window and $81 per patio door per month.
PellaWI.com. Certain restrictions apply. Ends 12/31/2024.
Grassland Dairy is built by tradition right here in Wisconsin and sustained by innovation. Since 1904, the Wheatrick family has worked with hundreds of dairy farmers to consistently produce the highest quality dairy products. Grassland's commitment to quality starts with the way their dairy farmers care for their cows and carries through every step of their innovative processing and delivery. They are proud to offer a wide range of reliable and nutritious dairy ingredients. Grassland Dairy is family owned in Wisconsin and has been crafting butter for 5 generations.
Tito's Handmade Vodka is America's original craft vodka. In 1995, Tito Beveridge built his very own distillery and put his life savings into it. Since then, he's won the unanimous Judge's Choice Double Gold Medal at the World Spirits Competition, the Chairman's Trophy for World's Best Vodka Tonic, and many others. Tito's Handmade Vodka is still made on the same land where he started it, all in Austin, Texas. Distilled from corn and gluten-free. Visit us at Tito'sVodka.com for recipes, videos, and more. Distilled and bottled in Austin, Texas. 40% alcohol by volume, namely 80 proof. Crafted to be savored responsibly.
Mark Toscher here for Pizza Hut, where the number 7 just got luckier. You already know how much I love Pizza Hut, but have you heard about Pizza Hut's $7 Deal Lovers menu? Enjoy all your Pizza Hut favorites like pizza, boneless wings, melts, cheese sticks, and more for just $7 each when you buy 2 or more. With the $7 Deal Lovers menu, you don't have to choose between great taste and great value. You can have them both. Order on the app or online at pizzahut.com. The $7 Deal Lovers menu, only at Pizza Hut. No one out-pizzas the Hut.
Hi, I'm John Hayes of Goodman's Jewelers. It's hard to imagine, but Goodman's has been the diamond store of Madison since 1933, which means your parents, maybe even your grandparents might have shopped with us. We maintain the same high standards, honesty, and integrity that kept them coming back time and again. Keep their history and our history alive. Shop Goodman's Jewelers today in the heart of Madison at 220 State Street. We're online at goodmansjewelers.com.
The best is at Goodman's.
Gold medalist and ESPN Madison foodie Matt Hamilton here to tell you about Metcalf's Market. As a proud Wisconsinite, you know I support local, and it doesn't get more local than 4th-generation family-operated Metcalf's Market. Renowned for offering an extensive selection of local and premium quality foods, it's the best place to shop for me and my family. Where family tradition meets commitment to quality, sustainability, and supporting local communities, head to one of their locations today in Hilldale, near Westtown Mall, or Wauwatosa. Metcalf's Market. Bring local home.
Make this December one to remember at Metro Kia of Madison. Get the 2025 Kia Sportage or the 2025 Kia Sorento with 1.9% APR financing for 66 months, $17.29 per thousand borrowed. Plus, every new vehicle comes with Metro Kia's wonderful 20-year, 200,000-mile warranty, and qualified buyers can get 90 days deferred payments. These holiday specials won't last forever, so head to Metro Kia of Madison today.
Hi, Drew and Jonathan Scott here, reminding you that American Family Insurance agents can help build a customized renter's policy so you can protect stuff like this, or this, or even this. Well, case in point. Life's better when you're under American Family's roof. Insure carefully, dream fearlessly. Get a quote and find an agent at amfam.com.
Products not available in every state. American Family Mutual Insurance Company SI and its operating company 6000 American Parkway, Madison, Wisconsin.
This is Wilde and Tausch, brought to you by Grassland Butter. Grassland Dairy is Wisconsin. Learn more at grasslandbutter.com.
Hold on, I don't want to know what it's like when you're gone. I don't want to move on. I don't want to know what it's like when you're gone for good. You're slipping through my fingertips a little bit by a little bit. I didn't know the love of you was that.
Before we get to Evan Cohen of Unsportsmanlike. So, Tausch, take this opportunity, because we don't do this often, not to tell people necessarily what to do, but what you would recommend for a Packers fan to feel about Jaire, based on the conversation we just had. Like, if I said, Tausch, I'm frustrated with this guy, man. You know, they paid him $84 million. He missed 10 games last year. He's missed 9 games already this year, with a 10th one coming most likely on Sunday, not on Saturday, which would have been better since Sydney has a basketball tournament on Sunday. What are you telling Packers fans? how they should treat this as fans.
Respectfully, you have respect for it. You can be disappointed and frustrated, but I think all of us know that if Jaire was healthy, he's a competitor. He wants to be out there. Now, it's another thing if you see what Devondre Campbell did or others, then have at it. Do what you want. But from this perspective, bless me.
Gesundheit, ja, very good.
From that perspective, no, I don't think there's a ton of things that you can do or say outside of, man, it would be great for him to be back. It would be, best for the team if he was healthy, but he's just not. And you can always look at things from the nefarious side if you want.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just not going to in this perspective. And as far as the money and everything else goes, that's just the price of doing business in the NFL. Jaire earned that contract, and if he was making the league minimum, I don't think people would be nearly as upset. That's, I think, always kind of the spearhead of why fans' frustration level gets higher, is because the bigger the investment, the bigger output you're looking for. And when that doesn't come, it's like if you get an old broke down 75 pickup, you're not going to have the same expectations for that as if you get a Lamborghini. If the pickup breaks down, you're kind of like, oh, I didn't pay much for it. Not a big deal. Lamborghini's up running and that ain't running. You're like, God dang, I just spent all this money on it. I can't even take it for a Sunday drive. That's where I think it's just, you know what? It is what it is. It's disappointing. But as far as any vitriol, I would tell people, let's temper that.
Are you the 75 pickup? Because I know you ain't the Lamborghini.
I'm definitely not a Lamborghini. There has never been a doubt about that.
If you've been injured, maybe not in a game in Jacksonville, but more likely in an accident, there's only one call to make. Gruber Law Offices. One call, that's all. 414-276-6666. 414-276-6666. I know you don't want to have to make that call. I hope you never have to make that call. But if you do, you want the best in the business on your side, and that's what Gruber Law Offices is. Also, go to the website, gruber-law.com. Find out more about the firm, all the great lawyers that are there, and everything that David and his team do in our communities. Gruber Law Offices, one call. That's all. We'll place a call to Evan Cohen of Unsportsmanlike and talk to him next. It's Wilde and Tausch.
Wilde and Tausch is brought to you by Tito's Handmade Vodka. Tito's makes the good stuff for good times. Find recipes, videos, and more at titosvodka.com.
Mark Tauscher here, wishing you happy holidays that are merry and bright from the great team at Everlight Solar. 'Tis the season to take back control over your energy bill by making the switch to solar. My family, we trusted the team at Everlight Solar to help us make the switch. And from the very beginning, the awesome Everlight team helped educate us on all the benefits of switching to solar. As they explained things along the way, the process was super easy. Make it your resolution to make the switch to solar energy. Join our family in creating a greener environment for ourselves and for our community. Save money and help save the planet by making the switch to solar. Learn more and schedule a free consultation at everlightsolar.com. That's everlightsolar.com. And happy holidays from the entire team at Everlight Solar.
UW Credit Union presents the Prep Mania Student Athlete of the Week, supporting local student athletes as they grow on the field, in the classroom, and in the community. UW Credit Union is here for every you. Learn more at uwcu.org.
Hi, this is Dennis Semrau from Zimbrick Honda's presentation of Prep Mania here on 100.5 ESPN. We're very excited to partner with UW Credit Union to help bring you even closer to the stories of great young student athletes. Each week, as part of this season of Prep Mania, will feature the UW Credit Union Student Athlete of the Week. UW Credit Union is proud to support local student athletes as they grow on the field, in the classroom, and in the community. And just like the fantastic student athletes we'll be telling you about all season, UW Credit Union's online banking also goes above and beyond with top-rated service and security that exceeds industry standards. UW Credit Union is here for you, presenting the Prep Mania Student Athlete of the Week. Learn more at uwcu.org.
Make this December one to remember at Metro Ford of Madison. The 2024 Ford F-150 is available with 1.9% APR financing for 66 months, $16.26 per thousand borrow. Or check out the 2024 Ford Mach-E at 0% APR financing for 75 months, $13.33 per thousand. These holiday specials won't last forever, so head to Metro Ford of Madison today.
Are you taking GLP-1 injections like semaglutides, but wondering how you can keep the weight off long term? Or maybe the weight just isn't coming off as quickly as you thought it would. If you weren't given a specific food plan to follow, you might be at risk of putting the weight back on once the injections end. At MadisonWeightLoss.com, our supervised nutrition plan could help support you and maximize your weight loss results now and empower you with the tools to keep the weight off long term once the injections end.
Hey, it's Jesse Nelson, and everyone's always looking for ways to be healthier and lose weight as we start a new year. Contact the team at Madison Weight Loss. Do what I did. Make that call and lose up to a pound a day. You won't regret it. Contact the team at MadisonWeightLoss.com.
At MadisonWeightLoss.com, we offer a proven approach to losing up to 1 pound of fat every day without exercising or prepackaged foods or counting calories. Plus, our strategies can help you keep the weight off long term. Don't wait. Go to MadisonWeightLoss.com to schedule a free consultation. That's MadisonWeightLoss.com. Results may vary.
Ho, ho, my back.
Santa?
Ho, ho, Gina Jello from Pella. You've been a good girl this year.
Is that why you're in here building new windows?
Santa's doing OT.
Let me make a call.
Frighteningly fast Pella team at your service. Let us take it from here, Mr. Claus. And Gina, next time.
I know. Ask for a Pella gift card. Right now at Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin, get as low as $19 per window and $81 per patio door per month.
PellaWI.com. Certain restrictions apply. Ends 12/31/2024.
Hey, it's Hunter Vaughn. ESPN Madison and Zimbrick Honda are celebrating the area's best high school sports stories with the Game Changers of the Month. Follow ESPN Madison on social media to see teams making an impact in their community. Nominate your local team today at ESPNMadisonGameChangers.com.
We're on the Packers playoff push.
The Green Bay Packers are still struggling to have an identity.
Because we're on Wisconsin Sports.
Internally, I think Matt LaFleur is still trying to chase who he is going to be and what type of way he wants to coach.
This is 100.5 ESPN and Wisconsin On Demand.
I'm throwing caution. What's it gonna be? Tonight the winds of change are blowing wild and free. If I don't get out of this town, I just might be the one who finally burns it down. I'm throwing
time now, as I just called him in my tweet. Host of Unsportsmanlike and quarterbacking legend. Time now for Evan Cohen. Evan, good morning. How are you?
What an honor, Jason. How are you guys?
I have a question for you before we get started and before you and old boy get after each other. So I'm watching Sunday night.
New year. Hey, no fighting. It's a
well, wait,
new
it's
year.
still the old year.
It's not the new year yet, Tausch.
And we'll probably fight.
So I'm finishing up writing in the press box at U.S. Bank Stadium, and I've got the Commanders and Falcons on the TV by where I'm sitting, and I'm watching Dan Quinn on the sidelines. And are we too old to turn our hats backwards? Because I've turned mine back.
I wore a backwards hat yesterday.
You did?
A backwards hat yesterday. Yeah, I don't normally do it. So I was in Florida, and I'm back in New York now, and my hair was getting very gray, and I got TV tomorrow.
I got to get it painted.
No big deal.
Yeah.
So, yeah, so it was like a little too – so I did I had my wife help me out with this, did the Just for Men, and I was like, oh, God, it's a little too much. So let me just do the backwards hat for a day, kind of let it sink in, and then when I get back here to New York – it'll be good to go. It wasn't like a let me by design do this. It was I was running and playing tennis and doing what I normally do.
Very active.
Destroy you.
Total country clubber, huh? What a country clubber. Wow.
Oh, okay.
I got done with croquet, and then I went and did my polo match, and then I flew back to my gated community up to Westchester.
You know, I couldn't get into my house last night. I got locked out of my house.
I heard about that. Yeah, I saw that. Well, that's
I'm not kidding.
You get security. How does that happen?
Okay. There's a lot of stories. Jason, you did your job. We got about 10 angles here. Tausch and I will take it from there. Okay. So, all right, I get back last night, and all of a sudden, and it's just me because I had to come back early again for TV. No big deal. First take tomorrow, 10 a.m. ESPN 2. Or 9 a.m. your time, sorry. Anyway, so I get back. My family's not there, just me. And I open the garage, and normally we leave the door inside the garage unlocked with the alarm on, right? I feel like that's the regular move for a lot of people that have a house with a garage and an alarm. And all of a sudden, I'm twisting, and I'm like, "What the heck? It's locked." I go to any other entrance I possibly could get in, windows, doors, sliding door, whatever it is. Everything is locked. I am now a mess. I go to where I thought I kept the key outside, which I no longer do. I open up this area, and a mouse runs at me. I'm like, "Oh, this is just wonderful." So now I'm freaking out. It's almost midnight. We call one person that we think has a key. She can't find it. Finally, right at that midnight, around there, we realized my neighbors have the key. They couldn't find it. They found it ultimately. And already this morning, I have had 6 additional keys made. Now, this is key to the key situation. I tried to come up with unique keychains so they know it's us. So I found these little red guitars that have the keys on them now. So this has been my morning. I was supposedly off from Unsportsmanlike this morning, and all I've been doing is getting keys in hidden key areas all over my property. So there you go.
Well, it's appropriate that you got a rock star key chain, right? Because you're on TV. No big deal.
Wow. Yeah. Well done. And it all comes back to the backwards hat.
Thanks.
It all comes back to the backwards hat, Jason, because we wouldn't have gotten here without that backwards hat.
I'm glad I could contribute. I could see Tausch's lips moving there, but I didn't hear anything he said. Have we lost
dream
you?
Come true. It's a dream come true.
See, again, Jesse, what's happening?
We don't have his volume. He's gone. I don't know.
Excellent. All right, Jason, let's keep going here.
He can give us hand signals on the video stream if he wants to, and we could relay his questions.
As Tausch might say, this would be malfeasance. It's almost as if there's been some sabotage that's gone on with him. Well, Evan, you and I don't usually get to talk during this segment, so since you'll be hosting First Take or appearing on it as a debater, what exactly you got going on tomorrow?
No, I'm filling in the Molly role. So I'm in the the host role.
Okay. Do you get to have opinions in that role? Because I know you have a lot of them.
Yeah, I'm not sure. It's funny. I was just talking to my dad about that, and I'm not exactly sure. I've never done this before, so I'm very much looking forward to it, and it's an amazing opportunity, and it obviously is a great thing that our show has graduated to a point of they use Canty a ton. They're using me now, well, at least for this one day. And Michelle has done college football stuff. It's exciting for our show, and we appreciate. Wisconsin's been amazing us on ESPN Wisconsin, 5A to 9A or 5A to 7A, depending on which station you're listening. And it's cool growth for our show. In all seriousness.
Yeah, congratulations.
But I don't know the answer
That's
to that
awesome.
question. Thank you. Thank you.
So, because you have the national perspective and because Tausch can't talk right now, which is just really amazing.
That's great.
I'm wondering now, because I feel like we have been too close to this Packers team all year long. We have probably been more critical of their shortcomings at times than you would be otherwise because you're so focused on them. And then I feel like maybe we've thought they were better than they were at times because we're so focused on them. Now that they have lost twice to the Vikings, twice to the Lions, once to the Eagles, they're in position here where they're most likely going to be going to Philadelphia as the number 7 seed to face the number 2 seeded Eagles on opening weekend of the playoffs. Tausch still hasn't given up the ghost of this team being good, and it can, win a game. Whether or not it can get all the way to the Super Bowl, who knows? But have we just overvalued in Wisconsin how good this team is, and does the national perspective bring them back down to earth?
It's funny, Jason. I kind of think in many ways the national perspective has been similar to the local perspective. because I feel like at least on our show, I mean, Michelle is a Packers fan and Canty's a huge Jordan Love fan, that I just feel like we've kind of had this, just wait, they'll be fine, just wait, when late in the season, playoff time rolls around, almost as if they've had this like really lengthy history of just turning it on, late in the season. Like it was 1 year, right? And I thought they would do it too. And now if you're a Packers fan, you are very concerned as to what this year was, because when it was rocky early on, I mean for their standards, right? Like you kind of sat back and you're like, they'll be fine. But what if they're not fine? What if it is one and done? There's an argument that the Eagles are playing better than anybody in the NFL right now. Obviously, Jalen Hurts is not playing. That's a different story, as we know. But the hypothetical that you just pointed out of one and done on the road at Philly in the first round, what happens then, Jason? You tell me. Because you're not going to fire the coach, and you're not going to, I don't think, and you're not going to get rid of the quarterback, obviously. Like, what then happens?
Yeah, nothing, because here's what I felt going into the season. And, look, they may win in Philly, and I'll have to say I was wrong. They're going to end up reaching the same point that they reached last year. But I thought they would be a better team and have a better record, but potentially not go as far in the playoffs because of a variety of things, including the fact that they played an outstanding game in Dallas last year in a game against the team that hadn't lost all year at home, and they did something pretty darn impressive in that game. You don't always manage to do that in a win-or-go-home game. And so I've been saying all along that they were a year away. I still believe that. But there were times during this year that I thought, maybe my timeline is off. Maybe they're going to arrive a year early. I feel better about where I thought they were. But look, they're going to finish 3 wins better than a year ago and still be the 7th seed, which is crazy to think about. To be 12-5 and be stuck in that same spot.
That's a very interesting point, because now, as I literally just, unbeknownst to me, spun my hat backwards for no apparent reason that I'm wearing
Welcome
right
to the
now.
team.
Anyway, yeah, seriously. So you bring up an interesting point. Is it in some ways a fluky year in the NFC North? And do the Packers, and I don't know that the answer is yes on this, but do they have more long-term sustainability than the other 2 teams we're talking about in the NFC North? Because I don't want to say last year was the window, because that's ridiculous, but I don't think Detroit's going to get much worse moving forward. I think they're going to be pretty good. Minnesota, I think, is going to be excellent moving forward. Maybe I'm wrong on that. And you have to assume that Chicago, just by default, is going to get better. I don't want to do this, but I can tell you right now, a February conversation for Wilde and Tausch, if they get bounced in the first round, or maybe a January conversation, if they get bounced in the first round, is going to be, did they reach the deepest into the postseason with Love and LaFleur a year ago that they will reach?
I don't think anybody's going to look at it that way, because you're just getting started.
No, he's back.
He's back,
yeah,
baby.
I'm back, baby. I'm back, baby, and I'm better than ever, as your idol used to always say, or maybe still says. I don't understand how you could look at this and say Minnesota's going to be. Minnesota don't even know what they're going to do. They have a rookie quarterback that they're probably going to play. Are they going to pay Sam Darnold big boy money? I don't know.
I think they're in a great spot. I think they're in an unbelievable spot, because if you look at
Detroit's
Minnesota,
in a good spot. I don't think Minnesota is.
Detroit without Ben Johnson?
Okay. Well, I thought they did something interesting, and maybe I'm wrong about this, but I thought Detroit did something very interesting that makes you realize how smart they are as an organization now. I think bringing in Teddy Bridgewater as a backup quarterback after a year of coaching high school football was very smart, because I think they're probably assuming that not only is Ben Johnson gone, he'll bring a couple of those guys with him, whether it's Brunell or Antoine Randall or JT Barrett, and they've already kind of replaced the spot on the coaching staff, which is what the Packers have done for years, right, with the depth on the coaching staff. It's very interesting. If you look at that division right now, the 2 best teams have a lot of Packers in them. What do I mean? Historically, Detroit, with the amount of coaches that you could see going on and doing other big things, like when Holmgren and Andy Reid and Gruden and Mariucci and all these guys were there, right? And Minnesota with the QB in waiting. It's very Packers-like, the other two teams in that division.
Well, Detroit doesn't have a QB in waiting, do they?
I said Minnesota with the QB in waiting.
Well, you're okay. I get what you're saying. So, I mean,
how can you be dismissive at that point? That was a terrible job by you being dismissive. You don't think J.J. McCarthy is sitting there as a QB in waiting?
He wasn't sure his microphone was on.
I don't know.
I don't understand. Jason, no, Tausch, Jesse, turn his microphone off. Jason, was that a fair point I just made about Detroit and Minnesota?
Yeah, I think Tausch got – I don't want to speak for Tausch, but I think he combined the two comps and required both pieces for both teams. You were talking about the coaching staff for one and the quarterback in waiting for the other, which were the two Packers-esque qualities that the two organizations had.
Put on a backwards hat, Mark, and you'll understand it. Maybe.
Right.
Just saying.
Okay, don't call me Mark. Evan, how often you just took a 2-week? You just took a 2-week break.
Yeah,
how often
right.
do you talk to Smalls and to Canty over that break?
I didn't take a 2-week break. What are you talking about?
Well,
and how
I love how triggered this gets, Evan. All right, you took a 4-day break. How much time do you discuss over the holidays with your co-host?
We're on the group chat, which has been active the entire time.
Okay.
So that's been active, and then Smalls and I were texting last night.
Okay. What were you guys texting?
I mean, but I've texted. What?
No, go ahead.
You asked the question. What do you mean, go ahead? I didn't hear your question.
Well, you kept talking. I'm not going to interrupt you.
Well, why am I on if you don't want? You want me to be on and not talk? That sounds like an odd guest spot.
It's like Tausch was for half the segment.
So
that's true. It's an odd hosting spot also.
What do you think when it comes to there's going to be a lot of discussion nationally, I think even some locally, about this idea the NFC North so strong and that somebody with 14 wins is going to have to go on the road. Are you in favor of reseeding and the division just gets you in but doesn't give you a home playoff game?
Yeah, I'm okay with that. I'm okay with
what?
that. What you just said. What do you mean?
I'd like to just make sure we clarify what we're talking about. So you're okay with Detroit saying, all right, we're the 5 seed, but Tampa, you're coming to us.
Yeah, I mean, that's an interesting example considering Tampa actually beat Detroit. But yes, because this is where it's uneven, right? Because what's more difficult, the NFC North or the NFC South? The fact that we have two teams in the NFC North that both won 14 games is remarkable. The NFC South is obviously a little bit worse and even across the board, but not as good anywhere outside of comparing the Bears to them. But I'm okay with that concept because if we're going to scream and yell about that in college, why would we not be okay with that in the pros?
Well, because it's different. I mean, there's different from a standpoint, and from college is different in the fact that the SEC is the NFL and the AAC and the ACC would be much lower tiered. I don't think they're on the same level. And I don't think, even though obviously this year there's a talent influx in one division, that is only a 1-year thing. It doesn't happen every single year. Very rarely do you see, or never do you see, a division with 3 top-heavy teams like the NFC North has been.
So then it's too infrequent to make a ruling on it, so to speak, would be
yes. That's what I would say. Yes, yeah. Absolutely.
Well, okay. So then that's fine. So if you want to say, if you're on the rules committee, which I know you are in your own mind, but if you're on the rules committee,
yes,
yeah, then you basically say to your peers, we see it this year. If we see it again next year, we got to start talking about this. This is something we got to put in our back pocket, do nothing on, but be aware of it. I'm okay with that concept as well. If you're saying it's not enough, like the whole idea of having a losing record, winning your division, and host a playoff game is awful. Like, I think that could be a trigger, that if you have a losing record and you're in the you cannot host a playoff game, but you are allowed to be in the playoffs.
Losing record, I'll join that club. If you're 7, I guess now I have to redo my math. If you're
do it 8 and 9, 8 and 9.
8 and 9, you don't host. 9 and 8, you get to. That's what you're saying. I'm all right with that.
Yeah,
like
assuming the team, which I think it's more likely than not that the answer to this would be yes, like assuming the team that you would be playing would have a winning record. So, like, and I know retroactively people would then say, well, then you wouldn't have that amazing moment in Seattle where they hosted a playoff game and Marshawn Lynch. Like, okay, I'll get over that.
Yeah.
So
you'll have to.
How are you going to institute both this rule and your pick your opponent rule? Can you do both, or do you have to choose between them?
You can do both.
Boy?
You can do both. You can definitely do both.
No, see, this is where no, this is ridiculous, Jason. We all know his pick your opponent will never happen in a million years because he wants to deny that players are like you and I and sensitive. And so they will not have the cojones to do that. And
the
just
players aren't
Tausch,
the ones doing it. The coaches and the GM is.
Okay.
And they can stay
okay,
standard.
But they're sensitive
they don't
too.
have to pick.
They're sensitive too.
Yes.
It'll never
You know what?
happen.
So is you know what? Everybody's sensitive. But you're now is sports more about competition or entertainment when it comes to the dollar? What drives the dollar
entertainment
in that regard?
Wait, Tausch, hold on a second. Hold on.
Yeah.
I think everyone is sensitive. I think you're one of the least sensitive people I have ever met in my entire life. I'd love to spend a moment to dissect why. Why do you feel like you're like nothing seems to really bother you?
I don't want to do this though. Let's do that. In
Why? I do.
We're running on the clock.
We got plenty of time.
I don't want to sit here. I don't want to sit here and diagnose myself on air as we sit here. Can you just admit that entertainment is the driver?
Hold on.
Oh.
So the only thing you're sensitive about is about not being sensitive?
I mean, I'm sensitive about certain stuff, but trivial things are not going to bother me. No, like an idiot because
I know, but you're triggered. You're triggered.
Care? I don't.
No, you're triggered by being called not sensitive, which is an amazing compliment. But that gets you very sensitive.
Oh my god! I want you to answer a question. That's what gets me sensitive. Not all this other stuff. Do you think entertainment is what drives the NFL and sports in general?
Absolutely.
So what is more entertaining than if it ends up being the Minnesota Vikings and they have to line up with the Packers? The Packers beat Philly and Minnesota gets to pick. They could say, we just beat Detroit 2 weeks ago. We beat Green Bay, but we think Green Bay is a better matchup. Bring Detroit back to us. You don't think that drives it? Why do you think ESPN does the college football selection show? It's because it drives interest. It gets people talking. This would do that to the 100th degree.
Nobody is arguing that. We're arguing as to whether or not it would ever happen.
What are we doing?
It will never happen. There's a million things.
Never's a long time. Never's a long time.
There are a million things that you could sit there and say would make this sport, any sport, more entertaining that'll never happen.
Okay. This is an easy one to do. You earn that 1 seed. You should be able to pick your opponent after Wild Card Weekend. Period. End of story.
All right, cool.
Just like Oregon should have been able to pick someone to go play. They didn't want to play Ohio State right out of the gates. Oregon should have been able to go pick Boise State or whoever they wanted to play. It should have been. That should be part of this equation. And you know who would love that? The casuals. Oh boy, Oregon just picked the 3 seed over the 10 seed? Oh, why? Oh, and then all of a sudden you get that banter, and then
we know that
unsportsmanlikes are looking at it and they're saying, "Oh, baby, this is juicy. We like this." Like, come on.
No one is arguing with you. It will just never happen. You know what, Tausch? Let's play this out. Let's play this out. This morning, I drove 20 minutes to get the keys made. I wish I could have flown. Not with a plane, just me flying. It would have saved me time. It would have been more entertaining.
On.
Why can I not fly?
Come on.
No, but
Evan.
It's true.
And by the way, there are jetpacks, and I think there'll be heavy-duty drones in the near future that you will be able to go and do that. Matter of fact, you're in Jersey.
I think it's
There's
time
drones
to go.
flying all over the place out there.
Oh
well,
my
there
God,
are.
This is exhausting.
Go ahead, Evan. Have you seen drones flying through your Jersey neighborhood?
I don't live in New Jersey, so no.
Oh, yeah, you're in a gated community. I forgot about that. My bad.
I'm not. If I was in a gated community, it would have been a lot easier last night. I wouldn't have been locked out. They would have had the keys.
All right, I know we got to go, but last question.
Now he's worried about the clock.
I want to preface this. You are going to be an advocate for player safety in the NFL, correct? You're on board with all the player safety initiatives that have happened, making the game safer, correct?
Depends what you're asking me.
As a former quarterback.
Yeah.
As a former quarterback, you like the rules that you can't. Well, no, I just want to get you on the record before I hammer you with the question that I hammered Jason with earlier. So yes or no, you're on the record. You think player safety is a good initiative, and it's been good for the NFL, and it's good to continue to move that ball forward, correct?
I think the players should sign up for whatever they feel like was best for them. If Tua wants to, God forbid, kill himself playing football, go for it. Not my life.
Okay. All right. Well, thank you. Thanks, Evan. I'm not even going to bring this scenario.
Tausch,
well, I don't know what you want me to say.
Tausch wants us to
I don't want
cover,
you to say anything.
Tausch wants us to not cover an 18th game. He wants us to go
Does
off
the
air
NFL 17 weeks is plenty.
Game.
Is it not? 17 weeks is plenty of football. Do we need an 18th? And if we do, I thought that it would be good for the press who is saying all the things about advocating player safety. Just say we're not going to cover it. We're going to take that week off. Is that a crazy idea?
I think this is almost not 100% akin to, but similar to steroids in baseball back in the day where everyone's full of crap at all times. Because you're right, theoretically. Yeah, you're right. Theoretically, the idea of caring about player safety and then constantly talking about more games is obviously backwards. For years, they've been releasing on Tuesdays target practice because of gambling, which means injury reports, right? The injury report is the dumbest thing I've ever seen in my life relative to why would you release that to an opposition? Because if I know Mark Tauscher has a shoulder injury, there are things that I'm going to do differently than I would have otherwise if I'm playing defensive line. That's only been released for gambling. No one actually cares about player safety. Not the league, not the players, not the media, not the fans. Let's be honest about that. No one actually cares about it. Like, how is it that they have the Guardian cap and Tua doesn't wear one? Explain that one.
Yeah. Because it's his choice,
right.
like you said.
It's his life.
If it's not right, so if it's not mandated to wear, and then we don't actually care about player safety. And if it supposedly helps players, which many players do wear it, and he chooses not to wear it, then he doesn't care about player safety. And we this week are going to be talking about the final AFC wild card nationally, right? And they're one of the teams, and we're going to be talking about his hip injury and whether or not he plays. And then people call him out. I'm just using him as an example for not playing through it, right? Hey, it's an elimination game. You got to play. Like, none of us actually care about it because, Tausch, people like you are willing to risk their lives long term for the unbelievable gratification short term.
Sure.
And now you're limping around the pickleball
tell us
court.
more. So you're all TV the rest of the week, huh? Is that what happens?
No,
we're doing all TV the rest
of
the week?
No. Back on the show Thursday and Friday. Everybody's back Thursday and Friday.
All right. We look forward to that.
Happy New Year, buddy.
Happy
What's
New
so
Year.
funny about that? Happy New Year to
Now,
my
you
good
working
buddy
tomorrow?
Evan. I work every day, baby. You know that. Sometimes it's not on air, but I will be doing a show tomorrow. I don't know if it's on air or not, but I'll be doing it.
We're happy he's working today. Evan, thanks.
You doing a resolution this year? You doing a resolution? You a resolutions guy or not?
Get a jetpack.
What?
No, here's the thing with the resolution.
That's funny.
I actually feel a level of weakness doing them, and I know that our CEO, Craig Karmazin, brought this up on a company-wide call, and I agree. Like, conceptually, like, I don't believe in holidays for the numbers. Like, I don't understand why. So it's February 14th, I have to love my wife? That makes no sense. Why can't I love her on the 13th or Jason's birthday on the 15th? Why can't I do that? I don't understand that.
Look at you. Yeah.
Well, he has the same birthday as my dad, so I remember that.
And Alex Patakis.
Okay.
Yeah, my son before I actually had a son. Anyway, so the point that I'm making is if I need to get better at things, which I definitely need to get better at a lot of things, why? So I'm going to wait till tomorrow? I have to, you know what? I need to lose some weight. Let me go get 10 pizzas today, but I can't have them tomorrow? That's stupid. You know, I wanted this analyst. I want to be the analyst for Badger football, and they've talked to me about it, obviously. And so why am I going to stop my pursuit of that? Why would I have to wait till tomorrow? Why can't I call LePay today and say, get me in? I shouldn't wait till tomorrow.
They've had a 3-man booth before.
You two would be like oil and water, man. I can't imagine that working, but maybe I'd be wrong.
Evan, Happy New Year, buddy, and we appreciate you. Good luck tomorrow.
Thank you. See you guys.
Big TV guy now, huh? Wow.
I'm
proud of him.
We joke about my relationship with Evan. I'm fascinated by yours. It is a fascinating connectivity that you and he have together. We now are well into the 10 o'clock hour. Mr. Clock Watcher down there.
I got a resolution for you.
In the lower right-hand corner of his video screen.
Well, you all shut my mic off midstream, so that's
never seen anything quite like that, and probably could use it more often. More Wilde and Tausch straight ahead. Stick around.
This is Wilde and Tausch, brought to you by Grassland Butter. Grassland Dairy is Wisconsin. Learn more at grasslandbutter.com.
Coors Light presents To Chill or Not to Chill. When your friend skips your favorite song on the playlist. End the friendship. Or choose chill because that song lives rent-free in your head anyway. And you planned ahead by bringing Coors Light to the party. And the sound of that ice-cold can cracking open was music to your ears already. Coors Light. Choose chill. Celebrate responsibly. 2024 Coors Brewing Company, Golden, Colorado.
Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin present your Badger Minute. Here's Pablo Iglesias.
This Badger Minute brought to you by your Badgerland Chevy dealers, proud supporters of Badger Athletics. Go to BadgerlandChevy.com. Proceed with caution. Legendary running back Anthony Davis joining the Jump Around in ESPN Madison Digital Show. Davis touching on the football program's recent shortcomings with transfer quarterbacks, offering his view on the gamble taken when making the move.
And we're trying to do something that's completely different than how we operate. I don't mind us using the portal when we need the portal, but I think when you talk about a quarterback, it's a high risk, high reward. If it works out, great. Maybe you have a 10-win season. A guy throws for a bunch of yards. If it doesn't work out, you're back to square one again.
If you're not getting windows from Santa, get as low as $19 per window and $81 per patio door per month. PellaWI.com.
Grassland Dairy is built by tradition right here in Wisconsin and sustained by innovation. Since 1904, the Wietrich family has worked with hundreds of dairy farmers to consistently produce the highest quality dairy products. Grassland's commitment to quality starts with the way their dairy farmers care for their cows and carries through every step of their innovative processing and delivery. They are proud to offer a wide range of reliable and nutritious dairy ingredients. Grassland Dairy is family owned in Wisconsin and has been crafting butter for 5 generations.
There's a good chance if you watch sports, you're getting served information about hormone optimization. What does that even mean? Dr. Nestor Rodriguez at Carbon World Health can tell you exactly what hormone optimization means. He will take your blood work and let you know if it's right for you. If you're feeling sluggish, not losing weight like you used to, you're not gaining muscle like you used to, or you just don't feel like yourself in most aspects of your life, go see Dr. Nestor Rodriguez at Carbon World Health. In fact, sign up for the 6-week experience so you can see everything that Carbon World Health has to offer, including hormone optimization. Learn more at carbonworldhealth.com.
Come see what the buzz is all about at Madison Axe, Madison's state-of-the-art entertainment spot. Enjoy 8 lanes of axe throwing, craft beer, interactive games, plus digital target projection and scoring. For even more fun, check out their indoor backyard with 2,000 square feet of shuffleboard, cornhole, yard games, bar table games, and more. Perfect for date night, groups, corporate meetings, or private events. Madison Axe is your destination for all things fun. Throw it, nail it, celebrate. Go to MadisonAxe.com or head to their location on Stoughton Road today.
Starion Bank redefines local banking in Madison. As a community bank with a commitment to Dane County, experience a banking relationship where your goals are our priority. Enjoy competitive deposit and loan rates and a partnership that thrives on local engagement and support. Starion Bank is more than a full-service financial institution. It's a community pillar dedicated to your prosperity. Visit one of our convenient branches in Middleton, Monona, or Sun Prairie. Starion Bank, offering banking, lending, mortgage, and cash management.
Oh, my back.
Santa?
Gina Jello from Pella. You've been a good girl this year.
Is that why you're in here building new windows?
Santa's doing OT.
Let me make a call.
Frighteningly fast Pella team at your service. Let us take it from here, Mr. Claus. And Gina, next time.
I know. Ask for a Pella gift card. Right now at Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin, get as low as $19 per window and $81 per patio door per month.
PellaWI.com. Certain restrictions apply. Ends 12/31/2024.
Like, share, and follow ESPN Madison everywhere. Follow us on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, and TikTok for more great content from ESPN Madison. This is 100.5 ESPN and Wisconsin On Demand.
Tears in my eyes, love in my soul. I feel like starting something. The pain that subsides the minute I go. I feel like starting something to go. La la la, la la la, la la la. I feel like starting something to go. La la la.
Thanks to Evan Cohen. Be sure to watch him tomorrow on First Take.
What? Boy, he got that in about 5 times, didn't he? Made sure to drop that on us.
I would just say this: if ESPN called and said, "Hey, we got no one else to do it. We need you, Wilde, to step into that spot," I would probably promote it too. So I don't have a problem with him talking about that.
Just wait a second. A show you can't stand, you would go on and do?
Yeah, I mean, it's probably a bad example, right? Like, I would be better on, like, Around the Horn or PTI maybe, because those shows I at least feel better about. But, yeah, you're right. I would not want to be the host of it, but who am I to turn down that opportunity? Just like he's a bigger deal. But my point is that I have no problem with him telling us about it multiple times, because that's kind of cool that he's getting to do it.
I think 1 or 2 times would be fine, but I think he went 4 or 5, which seems like a lot.
Like as many times as you tell us about how much you love Coors Light, which is okay, though.
Oh, I do. It's New Year's. You know there'll be some Coors Light being had by Old T. Coors Light brewed with that 3-step cold process, cold lager, cold filtered, and it's cold packaged, so it's made to chill. And those mountains, make sure the mountains are blue. That's when you know it is chilled to perfection. That's why it is always Coors Light in my hand, New Year's or not. Celebrate responsibly, Coors Brewing Company, Golden, Colorado.
The 10 o'clock hour starts in 2 minutes. It's Wilde and Tausch.
Don't go anywhere. Another hour of Wilde and Tausch, presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin, is coming up next on ESPN Wisconsin, the ESPN app, and Wisconsin On Demand.
Make this December one to remember at Metro Ford of Madison. The 2024 Ford F-150 is available with 1.9% APR financing for 66 months, $16.26 per thousand borrowed. Or check out the 2024 Ford Mach-E at 0% APR financing for 75 months, $13.33 per thousand. These holiday specials won't last forever, so head to Metro Ford of Madison today.
This is Derek Engler. You're listening to a Good Karma Brands radio station, 100.5 ESPN WTLX Monona, Madison.
Broadcasting live from the Everlight Solar Studio, this is your Metro Kia of Madison Sports Center.
Good morning, Madison. Happy New Year. I'm Jesse Nelson. Sports Center brought to you by Goodman's Jewelers, the diamond store of Madison for generations. Check them out, 220 State Street and online at goodmansjewelers.com. The Green Bay Packers turning their attention now to the Week 18 finale, hosting the Chicago Bears Sunday at Lambeau Field. Kickoff is set for noon. The Packers have opened as 9-point favorites, according to ESPN Bet. The Packers need a win and a Commanders loss to move up to the 6th seed position in the NFC playoff picture. Head coach Matt LaFleur meeting with the media yesterday, addressing the mindset of the team following the loss to the Vikings.
Honestly, I didn't feel like it was to our standard, and you got to give them credit. I mean, that's a good football team, but I thought there was a lot of things within our own control in terms of playing with fundamentals and discipline that we did not do a very good job of, and that was disappointing. It just was sloppy football.
Check out where the Packers land in this week's ESPN NFL Power Rankings over at ESPNWisconsin.com. New Year's Eve special content going on all day today. Of course, Wilde and Tausch takes you up till noon. Kelly Sheffield show finale at 1 o'clock, followed by Bucks Pacers. Pregame starts at 1:30.
Metro Kia of Madison, Madison's trusted Kia dealer. Stop into Metro Kia on the east side of Madison or metrokiaofmadison.com.
The 10:15 o'clock hour of Wilde and Tausch begins now. And I just had an epiphany. Thanks to Erica, who I believe, maybe she got a new job, maybe she's got other stuff going on.
She's been less, since Rodgers left, she's been...
No, she's
probably
now
bummed this year. Like, she likes Rodgers and the team stinks.
But I believe, I suppose it's possible it could be some other Erica, but I don't think so based on some of the
She was in that Hall of Fame realm. She was on that trajectory.
Comments I've seen in the YouTube comments. I think she's a dweller now.
Ooh,
and I use that term affectionately as opposed to Jesse, who used it in a derogatory put-down manner. I have not thought about this until that moment that I read this comment from her in the YouTube comments. Thank goodness the playoffs have been expanded because the 7th seed hasn't been a spot forever. The Green Bay Packers, if they hadn't expanded the playoffs to 7 teams, would have missed the playoffs last year. And if the Commanders win on Sunday in Big D, the Packers could finish 12-5, and miss the playoffs this year had the playoffs not been expanded.
Wow.
That never crossed my mind. Thank you, Erica, for your service.
That is a great point. And
wow!
I hate to say this too. I think if that had been the case, and even though Green Bay finished strong, it doesn't make the playoffs. They don't have that big playoff win and all the positive vibes around it. We would be having a much different discussion than is Matt LaFleur too emotional in his challenging and how his demeanor is on the sideline. We would be saying, is this our guy? And that's the cold, hard truth about playoff football, and especially in Green Bay. Well, luckily, that's not the case. And for me, I've always pushed against the 7 teams in the playoffs. This is a good reason and a slap to my face and say, yeah, you were wrong. Because had Green Bay went 12-5 and beaten everybody but these 3 teams, it would have been a travesty for this team to not get an opportunity to go play in the playoffs. Mm-hmm. A travesty. So for as much as people want to go crazy about, well, you should flip seeds and they should have to play on their own. No, I'm not there yet. I still think winning the division should get you a home playoff game. You still, if you're a bad division winner, you still got to go win 2 tough road games to get there, and I think that's fair. That is such a point that none of us have looked at, and the whole conversation around everything Green Bay is completely flipped on its script. If we end up 12-5 and sitting at home after this Bears game, it would be anarchy. And I'm glad Erica brought that point up.
And last year, like you just said, we're looking at this team kind of like we did after your Rookie season, oh, well, they won their last 4. Gosh, they're really building for next year, but they didn't make the playoffs. Same with McCarthy's first year in 2006 when you won your last 4, and it'll be a springboard in the next season. And that turned out to be the case in the 2001 and 2007 seasons. But the springboard last year, not making the playoffs, you don't have the signature win over the Cowboys. And then, what a great springboard. It springboarded them to 12-5 in 2024, and they missed the playoffs.
Yeah.
Ridiculous.
But in fairness, you who knows if it's like when people are saying, well, if Minnesota hadn't gotten that field goal, Green Bay would have won the game. Well, things change. Minnesota would have been more aggressive. It's not the same thing because Green Bay, not to say they would have not lost one of those games. The pressure would have been more on Washington. There's just different things that happen. But we are a show, and I think a society where you still want to be based on facts. And the facts are, in Green Bay, if you go 2 years without making a playoff berth, I don't care if there's 5 teams in there or 12, you better be in. You better be at least, because this is how Green Bay builds its teams. They go young, and you get better, and you want to be ascending as the playoffs come, but you have to be in the playoffs. Green Bay is, really for about the last month, we all knew they were going to be a playoff team. Now, how Sunday works itself out, I would say for as least amount of juices that Saints game had a couple weeks ago that we were fortunate to go up and watch and enjoy, this game will probably have even less juice, even though it's a Bears-Packers game. I think this game Sunday will be juiceless.
If you're juiceless, you're useless, as we've learned from Jaden Reed, although he has not had as much juice as he had earlier in the season either. One of the many things that we'll discuss as the week goes on. Tausch, just to be clear, in the AFC right now, the Houston Texans, if they don't win their finale, will win the AFC South with a 9-7 record.
9-8.
9-8 record. They stand at 9-7 now. Thank you. And the teams that are competing for the 7th and final playoff spot, Denver 9-7, Miami and Cincinnati 8-8. So conceivably, they will have 2 9-8 teams in the playoffs in the AFC. Mm-hmm. Tampa Bay is the only team that could potentially be 9-8, but if they win their finale and win that division as expected, they will be 10-7. So all the NFC teams will have double-digit wins, and with a 7th seed, the Packers will be in the playoffs. Seattle could win their final game and be 10-7 too.
What do people want? You want us to start mid-season saying, all right, we're going to put Green Bay in the South? Like, this is what it is.
Yeah.
I don't understand all of this. I know this is such an outlier. Malcolm Gladwell thinks this is crazy. That's how much of an outlier this season has been. You like that or not?
I do. I'm proud of. I'm very proud.
Well, you're a literary guy. Jesse doesn't have an idea who Malcolm Gladwell is. So,
running back for the Eagles.
Saquon's backup.
Everything is cyclical. I mean, Green Bay hosted at San Fran when we were 9-6-1.
Yeah, we're gonna have to reconnect.
All right, we're at least as opposed to him not being audible at all. I prefer Megatron over silence, but nevertheless, we will get reconnected with old boy coming up. Now, Jesse, you've got some sort of crazy plan here for trivia. What exactly are you doing? This is probably a good time since we're having a connection issue with old boy. Are we doing trivia now? And what exactly is this going to look like?
Yes. So we are going to do... Here's what I came up with for today's Wilde and Tausch trivia.
Okay.
It is New Year's Eve. And I am a sucker for year-end specials. The year in review, the top plays of the year, the top 10, whatever. I love that kind of stuff. And so What are you laughing at?
I'm just watching Tausch in the lower right corner of his video getting irritated, doing a show by himself because you turned off his microphone.
He's not on. His audio stopped working.
He's just talking. He's holding. He's got the cords on his headphones, and he's holding the microphone as close as possible to his mouth.
Holding it closer is going to help in
He's
this
like
situation.
the YouTube dwellers doing their own show. He's doing his own show over there, too.
If only he could hop in the comments, he could just go talk to them and do a show there. So I came up with Wilde and Tausch trivia questions today.
He looks like the kid that's grounded and he has to sit inside while all his friends are playing in the cul-de-sac.
Play.
All right, trivia.
Yes.
We're playing.
I came up with, this is a first.
Oh, boy.
12 questions. One for every month of the calendar year of 2024.
Oh, boy.
So we have 2 separate double editions of Wilde and Tausch trivia scheduled today. So we're going to do double Wilde and Tausch year in review trivia. So part 1 will take 2 callers now, and you'll get to pick which chunk of the calendar you want to answer questions about. And then we'll do the other 2 later in the show. Huh? How about it?
There's no way that this will turn out to be a train wreck at all. All right, so we need 2
contestants. As long as Tausch stays out of the way, we're good.
Well, that doesn't appear to be a problem right now. 844-770-3776, 844-770-3776. We will take caller 8 and caller 10. Caller 8 for Josh Jacobs, caller 10 for Jordan Love. Caller 8 and caller 10 right now, 844-770-3776, 844-770-3776, and we will play the first round of double trivia next. It's Wilde and Tausch.
This is Wilde and Tausch, presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin. Call Gina Della from Pella today, 855-PELLA-WI, and online at PellaWI.com/radio.
Mark Tauscher here, wishing you and your loved ones a happy holiday season from Grassland Dairy. As you gather with friends and family to celebrate the season, remember that no holiday spread is complete without the pure and delicious taste of Grassland butter on your table. For toast, pancakes, dinner rolls, and everything in between, Grassland butter is the gift that keeps on giving. Grassland Dairy again extends a huge thank you to all of the hardworking dairy farmers across the state of Wisconsin. Without them producing such high-quality ingredients, Grassland would not be able to deliver that pure and delicious flavor on your table that we've all come to know and love. Thank you, farmers, and thank you, Wisconsin, from Grassland Dairy. Butter better with better butter. Since 1904, there's been no better product and no better taste than Grassland butter. Happy holidays from Grassland Dairy, crafting butter for 5 generations.
Let's get the latest from Lambeau.
There's always pressure. You got to find ways to deal with that pressure and handle it as best you can to be the best.
This is your green and gold fix on 100.5 ESPN.
Obviously, there's going to be things that turn up along the way. You got to be able to adjust.
This green and gold fix is driven by Metro Ford.
The Packers fall 27-25 at the hands of the Minnesota Vikings Sunday evening in Minneapolis. Now the Packers likely in position to be the 7th seed in the NFC playoff picture. Head coach Matt LaFleur knows the team can't get down by 17 points against the quality opponent.
You can't get down against good football teams, and if there's a lesson there, that is the lesson, because it's tough to come back. I think our guys continue to fight and battle and scratch and claw, but ultimately we just can't put ourselves in a hole like that.
The Packers close out the season Sunday at Lambeau Field hosting the Chicago Bears. Kickoff is set for noon.
Purchase, finance, or service a new or pre-owned Ford at Metro Ford of Madison on the east side today.
Ho, ho, my back.
Santa?
Ho, ho, Gina Della from Pella. You've been a good girl this year.
Is that why you're in here building new windows?
Santa's doing OT.
Let me make a call.
Frighteningly fast Pella team at your service. Let us take it from here, Mr. Claus. And Gina, next time.
I know. Ask for a Pella gift card. Right now at Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin, get as low as $19 per window and $81 per patio door per month.
PellaWI.com. Certain restrictions apply. Ends 12/31/2024.
Grassland Dairy is built by tradition right here in Wisconsin and sustained by innovation. Since 1904, the Wietrich family has worked with hundreds of dairy farmers to consistently produce the highest quality dairy products. Grassland's commitment to quality starts with the way their dairy farmers care for their cows and carries through every step of their innovative processing and delivery. They are proud to offer a wide range of reliable and nutritious dairy ingredients. Grassland Dairy is family owned in Wisconsin and has been crafting butter for 5 generations.
Tito's Handmade Vodka is America's original craft vodka. In 1995, Tito Beveridge built his very own distillery and put his life savings into it. Since then, he's won the unanimous Judge's Choice Double Gold Medal at the World Spirits Competition, the Chairman's Trophy for World's Best Vodka Tonic, and many others. Tito's Handmade Vodka is still made on the same land where he started it, all in Austin, Texas. Distilled from corn and gluten-free. Visit us at Tito'sVodka.com for recipes, videos, and more. Distilled and bottled in Austin, Texas. 40% alcohol by volume, namely 80 proof. Crafted to be savored responsibly.
Pizza Hut has a new deal on boneless wings you need to hear about. Mark Tauscher here, and introducing Pizza Hut's new Big Boneless Wing Bundle. Enjoy 16 crispy boneless wings in 2 different flavors, 2 dips, and a double order of fries, all for just $15.99. Perfect for game days, tailgates, or a night with the family. The Big Boneless Wing Bundle is the best thing to happen to pizza night since, well, pizza. Order the Big Boneless Wing Bundle at pizzahut.com or on the Pizza Hut app.
Join the Madison Money Guy, Christian Finfrock, for Retirement Income Strategies, Saturday and Sunday mornings at 7. Get the information you need as you plan for retirement. That's Retirement Income Strategies, Saturday and Sunday mornings at 7. Investment advisory services offered through Retirement Income Strategies, an SEC-registered investment advisor.
This is Wilde and Tausch, brought to you by Grassland Butter. Grassland Dairy is Wisconsin. Learn more at grasslandbutter.com.
All right, it's time for trivia. A little bit of, I don't want to call this breaking news, and it's not, hey, Tausch is back. We can hear him now. But welcome back, buddy.
Thanks, buddy.
The San Francisco 49ers owner, Jed York, telling the San Francisco Standard that Kyle Shanahan and John Lynch will be back with the 49ers next year, despite the disappointing 2024 season. Now, I read that headline and thought, well, no blank. They went to the Super Bowl last year. They had all kinds of injury problems. Why would they move on from a successful tandem? If you dig further into the story, though, the point is that if the Chicago Bears were thinking about trading for Kyle Shanahan, Jed York is saying, no, sir, we're not going to do that. Now, just because he says that doesn't mean that that's not going to somehow become 3 first-round picks and they suddenly get him. But that's the news out of the NFL at this point, that the brain trust in San Francisco is not going anywhere. Speaking of brain trust, Jesse's brain trust has put together 4 rounds of trivia. And as Pipe Jim texts in on the private talk and text line, this will take up the rest of your show.
Nah.
Close, but not entirely.
I got a lot of stuff I still want to talk about before 24 ends, too.
Well, 4th hour coming up from 12 to 1, leading into the Kelly Sheffield show on ESPN Madison. All right, let's welcome in our contestants.
And I hear KBN's off again this afternoon. If you want to do their show, Tausch, we got room for you.
They definitely know how to take days off. There's no doubt about that.
Let's welcome in our contestants. First, Sean in Beaver Dam, who is a first-time contestant. Good morning, Sean. How are you?
I'm well. How are you, gentlemen?
We are great. And then our second contestant is Dan in Spring Green, who, oh, by the way, is also a first-time contestant. Wouldn't that be something if we got 4 of them? Dan, good morning. How are you?
I'm doing good. How are you guys?
We are great. Now, here's the deal. Since you two are the first 2 contestants.
Can I ask Dan a quick question?
Boy. Of course. A spring green
love
question.
spring green.
Yeah.
I love being out in spring green and go fishing out there. It is a great spot.
That Greek theater.
Dan, when are the morel mushrooms because a great morel hunting out there? When are they really in bloom the most? When can we make sure, if you know, when can we go grab morels? What's the best time of the year to do that?
Oh, I'd say like mid-May in general.
Okay. All right.
Give him an
Got there
entry
a little early last year
for having an answer.
I'm actually from Muscadet, which is home of the Mushroom Fest, the Morel Mushroom Fest.
Is that right? And when is that?
That is, I want to say, the 3rd week of May.
So May is the time,
yeah.
is what you're telling me. Okay. Fantastic. Yeah. Okay.
Mushroom Dan.
All right.
Did you have
mushroom Dan?
Did you have
That's
any
funny,
other
Jesse.
mushroom-related questions?
No, I love spring green. It is another one of those hidden beauties that I don't think people appreciate. Maybe spring greenians don't want people to appreciate it, but it is a beautiful spot if people are looking for somewhere to go. That's all.
Hey, Sean, where's the best New Year's party in Beaver Dam tonight?
I have no clue. Clueless.
Well,
But
the Thirsty Beaver's always popping. You know that.
Thirsty Beaver's a good spot.
It is. It's where
All
Jesse
right.
met his
Yeah, I
wife.
don't-
Is that not?
We're at Maury's.
I don't know why
Maury's.
Pipe Jim
Okay.
would think that this was going to take up the remainder of the show. Now we got dogs barking. It's a whole thing. All right, look, we have to choose which section of the calendar each of our contestants would like to take. So, Sean, you were the
Mushroom
first
Dan
caller.
gets May. Mushroom Dan gets May because that's when the mushrooms are popping.
I
This
will.
be easy,
I will
Jason.
ask. I will ask Dan in a moment. Sean gets first choice. Sean, you want January
Okay.
through March? You want April through June? You want July through September? Or do you want October through December?
We better go recent, October through.
All right. And then that fun guy, Dan. Dan, thank you for the courtesy laugh. Tausch isn't even paying attention. Didn't get that reference. Which section of the calendar would you like?
Well, I feel like I'd disappoint if I didn't choose the one that May is in, so we better
Very
go with
fair.
April.
There we go.
Mushroom Dan.
I hope there's a mushroom question in there.
Spoiler alert, there is not. All right. Sean, question 1 for you, so we get done with this before noon. The Green Bay Packers debuted their alternate winter warning uniforms in a game against which opponent? Was it against the Houston Texans, the Arizona Cardinals, or the fashion experts who say don't wear white after Labor Day?
I'm going to say Houston Texans.
I'm glad
Yes,
you did,
sir.
because that is correct. All right, Dan, question 1. Which of these pitchers was the opening day starter for the Milwaukee Brewers in 2024? Was it Freddie Peralta, Tobias Myers, or Ben Sheets?
Not a good baseball guy, but I'll go with A as well.
Good choice. Good choice. Sorry, there's no mushroom questions. Question 2 for you, Sean, is this. Which Packers player blocked the game-winning field goal attempt by the Chicago Bears, preserving a 20-19 Packers victory at Soldier Field? Was it Brenton Cox, Isaiah McDuffie, or Carl Brooks?
Carl Brooks.
Yeah, tiny little tip of the middle finger blocking that kick from Cairo Santos.
Only thing keeping us away from being 0-5 against the division.
Indeed. Question 2, Dan, is this. Which golfer was arrested on his way driving into the second round of the PGA Championship? Was that Xander Schauffele, Bryson DeChambeau or Scotty Scheffler?
That was Bryson DeChambeau. Scotty Scheffler.
It was Scotty Scheffler.
Yeah, Scotty.
Okay.
Old Scotty.
All right, question 3, Sean, is this. Which team won the NCAA Women's Volleyball National Championship? Was it the Louisville Cardinals, the Pitt Panthers, or the Penn State Nittany Lions?
I'm going to have to say, I believe it was Louisville.
You believe it was Louisville, but it was not.
It was in Louisville.
No, I think it was
Played
Nebraska.
in Louisville.
Nebraska never lost to Wisconsin in one set. It had to be Nebraska, right?
It was not Nebraska.
I know. I thought it was Nebraska too, but it wasn't.
You would
not.
think so. You would think so. Had some match points there to get there.
They were up 2-0. I turned it off. I just assumed they were up 2-0 against Penn State. I just turned it off because they're the greatest thing ever, and I didn't hear any negative criticism about them gagging down there, whatever. So
gagging
they did,
down
right?
there,
Just,
whatever. The Penn State Nittany Lions, your national champs. All right, Dan. Big opportunity here for you on question 3. Not sure why. In how many games did the Boston Celtics defeat the Dallas Mavericks to win the 2024 NBA Finals? Was it 4 games, 5 games, or 6 games?
Oh, I'm going to go 5.
I frankly did not remember. Could have been any of those.
Did you remember
3 for
those
me.
were the teams in the finals?
I did only
I knew
because
Boston won it.
Yeah.
I thought it was the Lakers because the Lakers get all the coverage on everything. So that's what I just assumed.
I thought it was Nebraska, actually. All right, so now I've lost track. Sean, you got 2 out of 3, and so did Dan.
Yeah,
everybody gets 3
Everybody
entries.
gets 2 out of 3.
Everybody has 3 entries.
All right, and Dan gets that extra one for his mushroom knowledge that Tausch appreciates for his next trip to Spring Green.
I have a quick little story. Very quick.
Oh, boy.
No, I'm sorry, we don't have time for that because we're very focused on the clock. Sorry, go ahead.
And sitting next to
Whoa. We don't get free advertising.
Yeah, wait a minute.
No, can't do it. If you would have not said that, we would have let you finish your story. But since you did, I mean, you have standards on this show. Unless he was eating an ice cream sundae at that spot, then he can say it. Outside of that, we got to cut him. That's it.
All right, that's it for trivia. Thanks for playing, guys. Goodbye. Wow.
Good story, Sean.
Oh, my gosh. You can go Buck and Honey. He's like, we got all kinds of great partners. Like, come on.
Speaking of great partners, I guess now's a good time to tell us about Tito's Vodka. Pour me in, Coach.
You can always pour me in, Coach. It's New Year's. You know what I'm going to have tonight. It's going to hit. I don't know if I'm going to make it all the way till midnight, but it will be Tito's in my glass. Tito's Handmade Vodka. America's original craft vodka. Distilled from corn, gluten-free. Again, I'm going to go cranberry tonight. It's that kind of year. Holidays are still rolling, so it'll be Tito's and cranberry for me to ring in the new year.
That kind of year.
You can do it whatever you want. Go to titosvodka.com to learn more. Crafted to be savored responsibly.
And enjoy responsibly indeed, especially you this evening in your undisclosed location around 11 p.m. when you run out of steam.
It's going to be hitting.
We will.
New Year's is, I'll tell you what, New Year's is the most overrated holiday.
We'll explore that more next. It's Wilde and Tausch.
This is Wilde and Tausch, driven by Zimbrick Chevrolet in Sun Prairie on 100.5 ESPN. See their full inventory at ZimbrickChevrolet.com.
Hey, it's Jesse Nelson to tell you about Madison Weight Loss. It's the program that I experienced from the middle of August to the middle of October. In over 60 days, I was able to drop 40 pounds of unnecessary, unwanted fat the healthy way simply by changing up my diet. As we flip the script now to 2025, new year, new you, we've heard that a bunch of times, but it really is the time that we start to think about ways that we can be healthier. And the way that worked best for me and the way that I recommend that you approach weight loss is by doing it the natural, healthy way by scheduling a free consultation, either in person or virtual, with the team at Madison Weight Loss. Book it now, get in touch with the team, and to start 2025, you can learn about all the different healthy, natural ways that you can approach your weight loss goals. I never thought I was going to be able to lose 40 pounds. I thought maybe 20, 25 would be like amazing. I dropped 40 pounds, all thanks to the team at Madison Weight Loss. Contact the team, MadisonWeightLoss.com. Schedule your free consultation either in person or virtually and start 2025 the way that you want to. Madison Weight Loss. Check them out, MadisonWeightLoss.com. Results may vary.
Evan, Canty, and Michelle are unsportsmanlike.
Here's what I'll do. I'll get the smoked buffalo wings, have the blue cheese on the side, but then I'll get an order of fries with cheese and bacon on them, and I'll dip it in the ranch.
Wait, that sounds amazing.
It's outstanding.
One of the weird food joys in my life is when you're eating buffalo wings and you dip it in the ranch and the buffalo sauce gets in the ranch.
Oh, it's great.
Elite.
Unsportsmanlike. Weekdays from 5 to 9 on 100.5 ESPN.
Make this December one to remember at Metro Ford of Madison. The 2024 Ford F-150 is available with 1.9% APR financing for 66 months, $16.26 per thousand borrow. Or check out the 2024 Ford Mach-E at 0% APR financing for 75 months, $13.33 per thousand. These holiday specials won't last forever, so head to Metro Ford of Madison today.
Ben Brust here to tell you about the Princeton Club. I joined the Princeton Club because I was looking for a place I could invest in my health, and the environment and the community I have felt has made it so easy for me to incorporate it into my everyday life. It doesn't matter where you're at in your fitness journey because they have something to offer everyone. It also goes beyond fitness. From the moment you walk in the club to the moment you walk out, there is a togetherness felt throughout the members and staff that keeps you going for your better tomorrow. Don't wait any longer and get started on your fitness journey today at PrincetonClub.net. That's PrincetonClub.net.
Oh, my back.
Santa?
Gina Dello from Pella. You've been a good girl this year.
Is that why you're in here building new windows?
Santa's doing OT.
Let me make a call.
Frighteningly fast Pella team at your service. Let us take it from here, Mr. Claus. And Gina, next time.
I know. Ask for a Pella gift card. Right now at Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin, get as low as $19 per window and $81 per patio door per month.
PellaWI.com. Certain restrictions apply. Ends 12/31/2024.
Dog, I can't remember a game that was this good.
Yeah, you know what else would be great right now? Some food from the Great Dane.
I know, but we can't go right now.
Good news! The Great Dane Pub and Brewing Company is available on DoorDash and Uber Eats. Stay in the game with the full menu delivered from the Great Dane closest to you. Downtown, Hilldale, Fitchburg, or East Madison. Order today with DoorDash and Uber Eats or on thegreatdanepub.com. Great Dane Pub and Brewing Company, Madison's original brew pub since 1994.
Hey, it's John Hayes, owner of Goodman's Jewelers. Come in and discover the high standards, classic traditions, honesty, integrity, and elegance when you walk through our doors. For over 90 years, customers have returned again and again to our warm boutique setting. Trust me, because I've been there for over 40 of them. Whether it's time to come back or your first time in, stop by Goodman's Jewelers at 220 State Street today. Goodman's Jewelers, the diamond store of Madison since 1933.
The best is at Goodman's.
Georgia versus Notre Dame. Boise State versus Penn State. Oregon versus Ohio State. Arizona State versus Texas.
The magic continues.
The College Football Playoff Quarterfinals. New Year's Eve and New Year's Day on ESPN Radio and on ESPN.
Dancing on the edge, about to take it too far. Messing with my head, how I mess with your heart. If you wake up in your bed, alone in the dark, I'm sorry. Gotta leave before you love me. Leave before you love me.
We got to get to this low block conversation in the 11 o'clock hour. And, of course, it is Tuesday. That means it's Power Rankings Tuesday. Plus, another round of riveting trivia. Hopefully we'll have another contestant from a mushroom capital of the world.
You enjoyed it. What are you complaining about?
I had a good time, but 4 trivia is a lot of trivias. And then what? We don't do it? Because if we don't have a show, you don't have to have trivia. So now you're actually stacking the odds against folks that maybe we're playing earlier in the week because we don't have a show.
Sure. I mean, we didn't do it yesterday. You're off Friday. We don't know what Friday will bring. So, yeah, this works out just fine. We'll be good.
I got a question. I want you to poll.
Okay.
And I want to have Jason answer because Jason always complains that I don't ask him enough questions, even though when I do, he never answers and says, well, I have a question for you off of your question, which annoys me. And I think he does that just to annoy me, which is fine. Have the Packers lived up to their regular season expectations this year? Is this what we all thought was going to be the case?
I know that you accuse me of taking victory laps, even though I say that I don't. I did pick them to go 12-5. So they have lived up to my expectations, yes. I guess I thought that they would have lost.
Would we feel better if they had lost to Jacksonville but beat Detroit or Minnesota?
So just to be clear, you asked me that question, I started to answer, and then you interrupted me.
You're patting yourself on the back. You're patting yourself on the back.
I wasn't quite done.
That's what I do. You always say you don't pick. You're not a prognosticator. Blah, 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 blah.
I'm not.
And you're sitting there giving yourself a victory lap and back scratches, which is fine.
More of a pat than a scratch on my back. But be that as it may, I would have felt better had they lost a game they shouldn't have, where you chalk it up to, you came out flat, whatever it was, and you lost, but you beat the Lions in Detroit. Or you won on Sunday in Minnesota. So, yes, I would. I did not expect them to be clean swept by the 2 best teams in the division and basically going into the Sunday's game saying, hey, we can finish 2-4 in the division because we beat the Bears twice.
Yeah.
So, okay. So since you posed the question, I in turn pose it to you, did they not live up to your expectations if they're going to finish 12-5 but 0-5 against the Lions, the Vikings, and the Eagles?
Yeah, I mean, I think I picked them 11-6, which I guess could still happen depending on what vibe did you get LaFleur was saying about playing their guys this weekend. They're going to go?
I did not. I don't think he was really asked anything to give him the opportunity to give that vibe. But I would say this: I think he's really pissed about how they played. I think he's unhappy with how Love played. He's unhappy with the pass rush. He's unhappy with the secondary. He's unhappy with his wide receivers not winning enough one-on-ones. He sounded like Mike McCarthy, frankly, when we used to talk about that offense. And, hey, you get a one-on-one matchup, it's your responsibility to win your one-on-ones. Matt LaFleur was basically talking about that and indicating, and I saw a few clips on social media of plays like the one where Love chucked it downfield to Bo Melton. There wasn't anybody open. And so I think he's irritated to the point that he feels like they need to play in this game and play well to kind of get back on track after what he thinks was a poor performance. Like, he had a if you listen to the press conference yesterday, and I'm not saying that he's blaming the players on purpose, but I think his frustration, going back to your emotion questions that you've had lately, bubbled up a little bit. He called the questions that he was getting about losing to good teams bothersome at one point. But I respect him, then he added. I wish I would have been back in time, frankly. I really would have liked to have been there for that. But he kept talking about them not winning their one-on-one matchups, and they played sloppy football, and he almost had to add as an addendum afterward, it starts with me. Usually it always starts with him. It kind of ended with him yesterday. So I think he's very, very, very frustrated with how they played.
I can't argue. And he should be frustrated with himself, too. I think that's the thing. And, from his standpoint, It is troubling, and what you don't want is a narrative that keeps repeating itself, and that narrative becomes the reality of the season. Mm-hmm. And right now, that's where we're at. That can all flip in 2 weeks. Everything. A lot of pressure will be. It's going to be a pressure-packed deal. And the great thing, and I know nobody's looking at it this way, Green Bay can look at it and say, nobody expects us. We haven't been able to get over the hump. Nobody expects us to be able to. And then you do, and it's let's lock and load, because nobody – I can assure you those guys right now, I don't know about Philly, but when you're talking Detroit, Minnesota, that group feels like they could. You have to deal with all the pressure. And you can tell LaFleur doesn't love it, but this is that machine of angst.
All right.
And then take it.
No, he might be okay. He might be okay.
Very well said. I couldn't agree more with whatever you said, Megatron.
Beep,
all right.
Beep, boop, boop, beep, boop.
It's like the Jetsons made. All right. Well, Tausch made some great points there. I wish I would have heard them all.
We got the gist.
No, I don't think we did, actually. Tausch is... LaFleur's irritated. That was the only thing that came across clearly during that portion of the program. All right. We've got more to get to. I would have liked to have heard that better, but I do want to get to this low block business. I do want to get to the NFL power rankings. So that's all still ahead. We'll get Tausch's voice back to his normal sound once again. It's not on you. It's not on you. It's on your carrier down there, wherever you may be. More Wilde and Tausch straight ahead. Stick around.
This is Wilde and Tausch, brought to you by Grassland Butter. Grassland Dairy is Wisconsin. Learn more at grasslandbutter.com.
Mark Tauscher here for Zimbrick Chevrolet in Sun Prairie. Well, who needs a sleigh or reindeer when you can make this holiday season EV at Zimbrick Chevy? Zimbrick Chevrolet has all kinds of deals on electric vehicles going on right now. Save $12,500 on a 2024 Chevy Silverado EV 3WT. This truck gets the job done. It has a 393-mile range to go with a 12,500-pound towing capacity. There are 5 to choose from, so stop in, check them out. Zimbrick Chevrolet also has special offers this holiday season on a 2024 Chevy Equinox EV and a 2024 Chevy Blazer EV, including 0% APR for each. Well, maybe leasing is the way you want to go. Zimbrick Chevrolet also has great leases on EVs. Check out ZimbrickChevrolet.com to see all of their current inventory and all the new specials. And don't forget to stop in to see the amazing service team as you prepare for your holiday travel as well. Happy holidays from Zimbrick Chevrolet in Sun Prairie, the name you can trust.
Rah. Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin present your Badger Minute. Here's Pablo Iglesias.
This Badger Minute is brought to you by The Jump Around. Don't miss new episodes of this exclusive digital show, talking all things Wisconsin sports, premiering every Thursday at 12:30, streaming live on the ESPN Madison YouTube channel. Proceed with caution. Legendary running back Anthony Davis joining the Jump Around in ESPN Madison digital show. Davis touching on the football program's recent shortcomings with transfer quarterbacks.
And we're trying to do something that's completely different than how we operate. I don't mind us using the portal when we need the portal, but I think when you talk about a quarterback, it's a high risk, high reward. If it works out, great. Maybe you have a 10-win season. The guy throws for a bunch of yards. If it doesn't work out, you're back to square one again.
If you're not getting windows from Santa, get as low as $19 per window and $81 per patio door per month. PellaWI.com.
My husband and I grew up across the street from each other. We've known each other since we were 8 years old. When he recently passed away, I looked at our wedding bands and I wanted them combined into one ring. Chalmers Jewelers totally understood what I wanted. When I got the final product, they knocked it out of the park. It makes me feel kind of warm inside knowing that we're together in this one ring.
Chalmers Jewelers in Middleton
and Madison.
Are you looking for the perfect gift this holiday season? Hi, I'm Devin Chalmers.
And I'm Garrett Chalmers. For 32 years, Chalmers Jewelers has helped to keep Madison sparkling. We can help you with your shopping list. Consider layered necklaces and bracelets, mixed metal stacks, and bold combinations.
Solid gold chains and vibrant gemstone jewelry. Don't forget, we offer free gift wrapping.
Visit either of our 2 locations.
Chalmers Jewelers in Middleton
and Madison.
Since J&K Security Solutions opened in 1987, our attention to detail and customer service have been our strongest assets. I'm President Jeffrey Beckman. We'll always do our best to find the most efficient and cost-effective solution to every job we tackle. Whether it's security for your home or business, installing video surveillance, or being able to control your garage doors from your phone, we can help you feel empowered with simple and user-friendly technology. Let's work together to secure your home or business. jksecurity.com.
Your warehouse concrete floors see a lot of traffic. Uneven, sinking, or cracked concrete can pose a serious threat to any business operation. From trip hazards to cracked foundations, sinking concrete can keep any business owner up at night. Concrete Lifting Technologies is here to help. Concrete Lifting Technologies can even out that concrete floor to prevent these hazards. They can level your warehouse floor within a few hours and don't even need to shut down your operations. Visit itaintmudjack.com to get a free quote today. That's itaintmudjack.com.
Hey, it's Evan Cohen, UW-Madison alum. Listen to me every day from 5 to 9 and join my fellow Badgers, Brad Nortman and Ben Bruss, with Kyle Wallace every day from 2 to 4 on 100.5 ESPN.
When you tell me I'm a wreck, you say that I'm a mess. How could you expect anything less? You latched onto me, then cried how strong you alone. I told you when you asked, I knew this wouldn't last. At least I could be honest about that. And now you're telling everyone how I only did you wrong. I guess you never knew me at all. Remember on my 21st birthday.
I think we've got Megatron back. Hello.
Hi, buddy.
Great to have you. You're scrolling through Twitter.
You missed a great little.
I could tell
snippet.
it sounded. I could tell that there was good stuff in there.
That's too bad. You guys missed it. We'll do a digi only on that. So I know we got to get back on the clock. I saw this thing with McAfee and the Colts. The Colts, Sean Steichen, their coach, talking about guys being late, and it happens. And I just retweeted. I think Florio put it out there. And I just retweeted. It's like the anti-Lombardi. You know how Lombardi was. You know,
Lombardi.
You go to Lambeau.
Yeah.
You go to Lambeau. The clock up front is 15 minutes fast.
It is. Yeah.
Basically, get your blank there on time. Be there early. Tom Coughlin did that. And this whole concept, and times have changed. I'm not going to argue that. I was scared blankless to be a second late to a meeting. There was one time in my life I was close and I panicked, and we were in Atlanta. Cliffy and I were having dinner. We couldn't get a cab.
I love this
story. There were no
story.
Ubers then.
Mm-hmm.
And we are panicking because we're 15 or 20 minutes from the hotel. Finally, we end up getting a ride from, I don't even know who. I think we maybe made our own Uber. And we were begging people out front, like, here's some cake. Can you get us back to this hotel? Finally, we get there with about 2 minutes to spare. And the entire time I was thinking, Cliffy and I are the veterans on this group. You can't be late.
Bad luck, bro.
So this whole concept, I don't know if it's changed, but there is a fear of there's not a lot that guys ask when you're a football player. Show up on time and be prepared. It's not rocket science. It's like if we're doing the show and consistently it's 9:06 and we're like, oh, I don't know, they'll wait 5 minutes. That ain't how it works, typically. So I'm just shocked that a head coach would say that. And if I'm looking at it, I know, all right, your culture sucks, and I'm not sure I want you leading my football team moving forward.
Mm-hmm.
That's how I looked at that.
Yeah.
I want my guys to be worried, and you don't have to be panicky about it, but get your blank there on time. We're not asking you to split atoms. Okay? Show up.
Maybe Sam Adams.
Show up.
On a combo block.
Yeah, you don't want to get split when you're trying to block Sam Adams in a combo block. You better have hip to hip, blank to blank if you want to get any movement. You better be blank to blank.
Are you going to be able to close out your 2024 with some Prize Picks victories tonight from your undisclosed location?
Oh, big game. Corey Hall's alma mater, Boise State. I think they're playing somebody at Penn State, maybe.
Penn State tonight. Yeah.
I'll take a little look, but I'll get over the weekend too. Prize Picks, the best place to get real money sports action. You know what I love about Prize Picks? We all have these sports opinions. Jesse's got his. I got mine. Jason doesn't really give a lot of opinions, but you say things and you're like, I think this is going to be a high-scoring game. Well, you know what? Well, then go and put more. Go do that. You have that option with Prize Picks. More or less a shot 1,000 times your cash and you get your money back. The app today. Code WI. Get $50 instantly after you play your first $5. Code WI. $50 after you play that first $5 line. Prize Picks.
Run your game because Tausch's microphone might not hold out. The 11 o'clock hour of Wilde and Tausch. I really want your connection to work because I need your help on this. Because I am helicopter Hannah when it comes to injuries, and I don't want anybody to get hurt and everything else. This low block business in 2024 has me perplexed. And Matt LaFleur had some very strong comments about it yesterday. We will get to that to kick off the 11 o'clock hour in 2 minutes. So stick around. It's Wilde and Tausch.
Don't go anywhere. Another hour of Wilde and Tausch, presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin, is coming up next on ESPN Wisconsin, the ESPN app, and Wisconsin On Demand.
Mark Tauscher here for Pizza Hut. Going back to the days when I was a kid participating in the Book It program, I've always loved Pizza Hut. Now I love picking up delicious food from Pizza Hut as I make new memories with my family. And one of the great things about Pizza Hut is the number 7, as in their $7 Deal Lovers menu. You can now enjoy all your Pizza Hut favorites like pizza, boneless wings, pasta, melts, cheese sticks, desserts, and more for just $7 each when you buy 2 or more. Want a medium one-topping pizza? A chicken, bacon, Parmesan melt? Chocolate donut bites? Order them all for just $7 each. How about an order of 8-piece boneless wings? Chicken Alfredo pasta? $7 each. Order on the app or online at pizzahut.com. The $7 Deal Lovers menu, only at Pizza Hut. No one out-pizzas the Hut.
Ho Chunk Gaming Madison always does New Year's Eve big, so join the celebration and make it a night to remember. On Tuesday, December 31st, we have New Year's Eve hot ticket drawings, both day and night, with a $5,000 grand prize at 4 p.m. and another $5,000 grand prize just after midnight. Plus, you'll enjoy rewards play, a live DJ, a wide selection of food and drink specials, and of course, our 95% average payout. Come for the drawings, stay for the party at
Ho Chunk Gaming Madison.
Ho, ho, my back.
Santa?
Ho, ho, Gina Dello from Pella. You've been a good girl this year.
Is that why you're in here building new windows?
Santa's doing OT.
Let me make a call.
Frighteningly fast Pella team at your service. Let us take it from here, Mr. Claus. And Gina, next time.
I know. Ask for a Pella gift card. Right now at Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin, get as low as $19 per window and $81 per patio door per month.
PellaWI.com. Certain restrictions apply. Ends 12/31/2024.
Hi, this is Dave Kane. You're listening to Madison's Home of the Bucks, a good Karma brand radio station, 100.5 ESPN WTLX, Monona, Madison.
Sports Center updates on 100.5 ESPN are brought to you by Metro Kia of Madison. Metro Kia of Madison, Madison's trusted Kia dealer. Stop into Metro Kia on the east side of Madison or visit metrokiaofmadison.com.
Hour of Wilde and Tausch. Tausch? My best friend growing up, Steve Tausch. So, Tausch, give me your position on low blocks. Because you had to execute them at times. Certainly, defensive players don't like them. The play in question in the game on Sunday, Matt LaFleur calls it a cross-sift block, where essentially Tucker Kraft comes across the formation. His responsibility is to take out the defensive end on the edge. Not necessarily having to cut him, but more often than not cutting him. And Tucker Kraft goes low. Some might say like Kirby Joseph went on him, going to tackle him in the game a few weeks ago. And Pat Jones II suffers a knee injury. He may be able to play in Sunday night's NFC North / first seed championship game with the Lions, but the Vikings were pissed. And I'm curious, before we hear from Matt LaFleur, who talked at length about it, how you view low blocks in 2024 as compared to, say, during your 11-year career, when we know that it was part of the game that everyone hated, but no one said boo about it.
Oh, I didn't hate it. I loved it. It made my job a lot easier because you're asking on the backside of outside zones. I had to cut guys' legs constantly. Backside of power, I'd have to cut guys, get guys on the ground. Pass protection, get them on the ground so their hands aren't up so you can bat it down. Out in space, you got really athletic linebackers flying downhill. You know what stops them? Ripping their legs out. So did I think it was fun? I mean, I don't want to hurt anybody, but I also want to get my job done. Mm-hmm. And so for me as an offensive lineman, I loved it. It was a huge weapon in our arsenal. They've gotten rid of a lot of it. And I think if I'm a defensive lineman, I would have been screaming bloody murder the whole time because it was ridiculous.
Right.
And I find it rich. I find it rich now that they're calling these DBs for cutting offensive linemen on the legs. I find it really rich because for years it was, whatever we wanted to do on our side of the ball. I mean, the Denver Broncos won 2 Super Bowls with that.
Right.
We were great at getting guys on the ground and cut. Schler.
So
and now they're calling 180-pound defensive back for chopping down 320-pound linemen coming out.
So earlier in the game,
to reiterate,
earlier in the game, there was the play where Harrison Smith goes low on Zach Tom as Zach Tom is about to block him and gets called for a low block as a defensive player, which doesn't make a whole lot of sense because you could call it something else because he's not really blocking. He is trying to take on a guy that outweighs him by 100 pounds. Now, when you look at what Tucker Kraft did and go back to your experience, when you would cut guys, Tucker Kraft goes with his right shoulder into Pat Jones II's knee, his right knee. I am curious what the technique was supposed to be because, as we'll hear from Matt LaFleur shortly, he said, look, if we're going to do this, if we're going to outlaw that block, we also have to outlaw low hits on tackles, and there has to be a strike zone, essentially, from the neck to above the knee. How hard was your job of doing those blocks to do it in a way that if that strike zone was in effect, you couldn't do it, right? It would be awfully difficult to hit that zone?
It really front side knee. You can't block the backside knee. You can't do it. That's why you get guys hurt. And so when I played the guys on a lot easier. Now you're I think I have fought that years because
yeah,
all right. God dang it. He's been so good today.
Yeah.
Like, not that he's not good other days, but we're losing such insight, and it's ticking me off.
Yeah.
Let's do this.
Nothing we can do about it.
Let's play what Matt LaFleur had. Just have old boy disconnect and reconnect. See if a fresh reset helps. While we play this from Matt LaFleur, who was very vehement in his defense of Tucker Kraft and took a shot at Kirby Joseph, not by name, as he went through the process.
I mean, I don't know what, it's a totally legal play. It's just, you got to defeat the block, and there's a lot of different ways to do it. I mean, Cox got sawed off by Johnny Munt one time, and they got somebody else. They did it to us twice in the game. So, like, what are we talking about? Like, I get it. As a defensive player, they don't like it. I think Troy's already come out and said that he wants to eliminate low blocks around the league. Like, but it's part of the game. And so if you don't want to get those types of blocks, you can't be so out of control. And we get it too with our defensive ends. You know, if we're flying off the ball, like, you're going to get cross-siffed. And that's a way to try to slow down just the speed off the edge. And it's a great equalizer. That's tough for an offense to have to deal with that. And so you got to have some sort of recourse to try to slow somebody down. Otherwise, you're going to put everybody at risk. Your quarterbacks, guys are just going to tee off. But we'll see how, what happens in the future. But, it's no different than what are we talking about, like low tackles? I mean, you see that around the league all the time. Then we should eliminate all low hits below the knee, period. And when receivers catch a ball and they're going across the middle and a safety, who I won't name, goes and saws their legs out. I mean, it happens we should get rid of all that then, if that's the case.
There's no way. They're right. There's no. You wouldn't be playing football if you got rid of all that stuff. No.
Well, I don't know. That's my argument too. If we get rid of the cross-sift, then we should get rid of low hits, and there should be a strike zone on every player, above the knee, below the head, or below the neck. Because I do agree that some of those are dangerous. It's not like our intent is not to go hurt somebody. You never want to see that. I don't want to see that from either team. The intent is to slow somebody down. And I do think it's part of our job as coaches is to teach whether it's an edge rush or whoever, how to defeat a cut block. And conversely, you got to teach them how to throw a good cut, But that's part of our responsibility, and then the players got to go out there and apply that. And if you're out of control, it's hard to protect yourself, period.
All right, Tausch, before we run into more technical problems, I'm on board with that. I never played the game, though.
No.
I want the strike zone. I don't want guys blowing out their knee. I don't want Kirby Joseph taking out Tyler Higbee, T.J. Hawkinson, and almost Tucker Kraft with low hits. But he's outweighed by these guys. How's he supposed to get him on the ground? Help me understand what they should do.
At some point, we might just play flag football then. And I get it. I don't want guys. But there's a risk that comes with this game. And you've taken the headshots out. Smart. But now you're going to tell Kirby Joe he's got to tackle Gronk or Tucker Kraft. You can't go early. You can't hit up high. Now you're going to say you can't hit low. Everybody's going to be a quarterback. If that's the case, this game's gotten a lot less physical and, to me, a lot less interesting. Maybe that'll be the case, but no.
Well, that's a new one. It's radio silence now.
All right, we'll say goodbye to old T. He can start his New Year's revelry early. I will tell you about Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin. So, as it'll turn out, it will be the first time he talked about them. Will turn out to be the last time.
You were right the whole time. Wow.
So, I am not going to disrespect the elves when I tell you about Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin. I'll do that coming up next. Jesse and I will discuss the power rankings and where the ESPN NFL Nation crew has the Packers after their defeat. We wish you a happy New Year, Tausch. Enjoy your evening. Let's see if you can make it till midnight, because I really wanted to hear what an overrated holiday New Year's Eve is.
He can do his own show. And
I'm here. I'm back.
Oh, hi!
Jeez.
I'm back, baby. And sure, your home remains comfortable with bad Wi-Fi, good Wi-Fi, but make sure your windows keep your warm air in the house. And yeah, Santa Claus is magical. His elves, they're not. We've been well aware that's not the case. Too many options, too many customizations. You need Pella's experts to do it. So instead of going through the big red fella, take advantage of this deal from Pella. Get as low as $19 per window, $81 per patio door per month. Certain restrictions do apply. This offer ends New Year's Eve, which is today. Visit PellaWI.com today to learn more. Did I get through it, or did it get...
No, you did it.
So I think we should have been on. I think we should have done. Well, who knows what's what. Bottom line is, Jason, I've been saying a lot of really interesting things. Unfortunately,
and no one's heard it.
Sucks. Football. If you're going to go that route, I'm very nervous about how football is going to continue on. You have to allow for some of this. The offensive line and how you can cut guys and things like that. That's a different beast. I get that, but you're already limiting where guys can tackle. Playing defense is a nightmare as it is. And if you take that out of it, I don't know where and then you're going to say, well, you can't throw the football over the middle of the field. I mean, that's the next step,
right?
I don't know where we go from there. I don't want to be in charge of those rules because I think the game is already skewing too much, too perimeter oriented, but I get where Matt LaFleur's coming from. I don't like it, but I get it.
All right, so I don't know what we're going to do with Old T, because the show is obviously better by a multiple of 100 when he's with us, except when we have Balaga, then it's just as good. But
yeah, well,
Happy New Year.
Yeah.
Well, he is scheduled to appear later in the week. I think it's probably worthwhile to compliment the
Subbing
guy.
in for Old T on Friday. Yeah.
So I would love for you to stay. I don't know if technologically that'll work out or not.
Today. Happy New Year, boys. I think we're going to call it.
Come on.
It makes the
See
most
you
sense.
later. Okay.
Happy New Year, fellas. Thanks, everybody.
Enjoy your Coors
Deuces,
Light.
T. All right, so he's gone. Let's play our second round of trivia then.
All right.
Because he doesn't do anything during that segment.
That's true.
Anyway.
We won't even know he's not here, except unless there's something interesting he wants to ask someone about.
So, all right, what we did the first round. What was done was the April through June window and the October through December window. So our next two contestants, one will get January through March, one will get July through September. Let's do the same calls again. 8 and 10. Caller 8 in honor of Josh Jacobs' great year. Caller 10 in honor of Jordan Love's season. Although I know Tausch wanted to talk about this. He'll have to wait till Thursday. But he sent a tweet saying that from someone, I don't know who, that Jordan Love has not been consistently good enough this season. And that sounds like a good topic to me. We'll have to save it for Thursday when he hopefully has better connectivity. Caller 8 and caller 10 for trivia, though. 844-770-3776, 844-770-3776. Caller 8 and caller 10 play next. It's Wilde and Tausch.
This is Wilde and Tausch, presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin. Call Gina Della from Pella today, 855-PELLA-WI, and online at PellaWI.com/radio.
Mark Tauscher here, wishing you and your loved ones a happy holiday season from Grassland Dairy. As you gather with friends and family to celebrate the season, remember that no holiday spread is complete without the pure and delicious taste of Grassland butter on your table. For toast, pancakes, dinner rolls, and everything in between, Grassland butter is the gift that keeps on giving. Grassland Dairy again extends a huge thank you to all of the hardworking dairy farmers across the state of Wisconsin. Without them producing such high-quality ingredients, Grassland would not be able to deliver that pure and delicious flavor on your table that we've all come to know and love. Thank you, farmers, and thank you, Wisconsin, from Grassland Dairy. Butter better with better butter. Since 1904, there's been no better product and no better taste than Grassland butter. Happy holidays from Grassland Dairy, crafting butter for 5 generations.
Let's get the latest from Lambeau.
There's always pressure. You got to find ways to deal with that pressure and handle it as best you can to be the best.
This is your green and gold fix on 100.5 ESPN.
Obviously, there's going to be things that turn up along the way. You got to be able to adjust.
This green and gold fix is driven by Metro Ford.
The Packers fall 27-25 at the hands of the Minnesota Vikings Sunday evening in Minneapolis. Now the Packers likely in position to be the 7th seed in the NFC playoff picture. Head coach Matt LaFleur knows the team can't get down by 17 points against a quality opponent.
You can't get down against good football teams, and if there's a lesson there, that is the lesson, because it's tough to come back. I think our guys continue to fight and battle and scratch and claw, but ultimately we just can't put ourselves in a hole like that.
The Packers close out the season Sunday at Lambeau Field hosting the Chicago Bears. Kickoff is set for noon.
Purchase, finance, or service a new or pre-owned Ford at Metro Ford of Madison on the east side today.
Wisconsin is as hard-working of a place as you'll ever find. People here are tough, but even the toughest among us need help after a serious accident. At Gruber Law Offices, we won't stop fighting for you and your family. One call, that's all.
Ho, ho, my back.
Santa?
Ho, ho, Gina Dello from Pella. You've been a good girl this year.
Is that why you're in here building new windows?
Santa's doing OT.
Let me make a call.
Frighteningly fast Pella team at your service. Let us take it from here, Mr. Claus. And Gina, next time.
I know. Ask for a Pella gift card. Right now at Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin, get as low as $19 per window and $81 per patio door per month.
PellaWI.com. Certain restrictions apply. Ends 12/31/2024.
My fiance wanted to incorporate me in the process of picking out my engagement ring. And we went to Chalmers, and that was the first place that we went to look for rings.
The staff educated us right away, and we felt very comfortable, and I learned a lot about diamonds.
Chalmers did a great job explaining the process to us, the type of grade of the diamond.
Just from the second you walk in, I mean, there's somebody who's taking you over, showing you exactly what you want in your price range.
I think that my ring is the most beautiful ring I've ever seen, thanks to Chalmers Jewelers.
Are you looking for the perfect gift this holiday season? Hi, I'm Devin Chalmers.
And I'm Garrett Chalmers. For 32 years, Chalmers Jewelers has helped to keep Madison sparkling. We can help you with your shopping list. Consider layered necklaces and bracelets, mixed metal stacks, and bold combinations.
Solid gold chains and vibrant gemstone jewelry. Plus 12 months interest-free financing.
Visit either of our 2 locations.
Chalmers Jewelers in Middleton
and Madison.
Gosh, he's good.
I know.
The Great Dane has been a Madison original for 30 years. Supporting the community has been and remains a pillar of the Great Dane since they opened here in Madison. Their largest fundraiser is Adopt a Family, which has provided thousands each year in gifts and much-needed supplies for local families since 1995. From food to mattresses. This year, they're supporting the Outreach LGBTQ Community Center to ensure more parents and children get the holiday season that they deserve. Stop in any Great Dane location or head to GreatDanePub.com to donate today.
This is Madison's new home of Milwaukee Brewers baseball.
Churio, a high fly ball. Back, track, bye, baseball!
100.5 ESPN, your new home of the Milwaukee Brewers.
Well, so much for first-time contestants across the board. Instead, we get some experience for round 2 of year-end Jesse Nelson trivia. Let's welcome in our contestants. First, caller 8 is Matt in West Bend. Matt, good morning, buddy. How are you?
Doing great. Happy New Year.
Same to you, my friend. And caller 10 is Sean in Sun Prairie. Sean, good morning. How are you, man?
Good morning. Good morning. Happy New Year as well.
Thank you very much. The same to you guys. All right. Sean, you get... Matt, you get to pick. Sean, you get stuck with whatever's left. Matt, do you want July through September or January through March as your batch of questions?
We better go more recent.
I believe that has been the strategy of everyone who has picked. All right, so that means, Sean, you get the January through March questions. Question number 1 in the July through September category, Matt, is this. A kid from Waupun became the star of Packers family night when he did what? Was it caught a punt, caught a touchdown pass, or caught an early case of senioritis?
Caught a punt.
He did. Actually caught like 3 of them and held on to the other balls. Well done. Question number 1 for you, Sean, back in January, February, and March, is this. Which of these statements is true of the Packers' playoff win in the wild card round over the Cowboys? Is it was the first time a number 7 seed won a playoff game? Is it was Green Bay's first playoff win in Dallas in team history? Or it was Mike McCarthy's best game plan ever for a Packers victory?
Very, very, very frustrating.
That's not very nice.
That's A.
It is indeed. All right, 1 for 1 for both of you. Question 2.
It was a good game plan for a Packers victory, though.
You're not very nice at all. Question 2, Matt, is this. Which team ranked in the preseason AP Top 10 lost the first game of Week 0 of the 2024 college football season in Ireland? I got to be honest, I don't even remember them playing in Ireland, much less who played in that game and who lost. Nevertheless, your choices are these: Florida, Florida State, or Clemson.
Oh, boy. I was going to say Notre Dame. Let's go Clemson.
It's a guess. It's not the right one. Apparently Florida State. I have a vague recollection of that now.
Lost to Georgia Tech. First of many losses.
Oh, yeah.
For the
An
Noles.
unforgettable game from Dublin or wherever they were. All right. Question 2, Sean, is this. Which artist headlined the Super Bowl 58 halftime show? Was it Rihanna, Usher, or Kendrick Lamar?
Ooh. I'm going to say Usher.
I believe Rihanna was the previous year, and I believe Kendrick Lamar is this year. So well done.
That's correct.
Tricky, Jesse Nelson. All right.
I realized when I wrote that question, I don't remember anything from the Usher halftime show.
No, I remember Rihanna.
Rihanna's was great.
She was pregnant.
I remember several of the other ones that have happened. I remember nothing from the Usher halftime show.
I remember The Weeknd.
Same.
Well, you got the question right anyway. All right. Question 3 for you, Matt, is this. Which Major League Baseball team was 8 games under 500 with a 0.2% chance to make the playoffs before going on a late season run to reach the postseason and win a series? And it was not the 2002 Oakland Athletics, led by Brad Pitt. Was it the Detroit Tigers, the Kansas City Royals, or the Minnesota Twins?
We'll go Twins.
I believe the Twins were the opposite. They collapsed, allowing the Detroit Tigers to make the playoffs. All right. Question 3, Sean, for you is this. Which team defeated Caitlin Clark's Iowa Hawkeyes in the NCAA Women's Basketball National Championship game? Was it UConn, South Carolina, or LSU?
South Carolina.
Boom.
Yeah.
All right, so Sean, you got 2 out of 3, so you got 3 of the possible 4 entries into the drawing. Thanks for playing, buddy. We appreciate you. Happy New Year. And Matt, you sadly got only 1 right, so you have 2 entries into the drawing. Recency did not help you, but nevertheless, those were some tough questions. I would have gotten 2 out of 3 wrong also, and I watched that national championship game. So good luck in the drawing, and Happy New Year, buddy. Thanks.
Thank you. Right back at you, guys.
All right, Jesse, now that it's over, how do you assess your year-end trivia foray?
I enjoyed it.
Especially because people got a lot of wrong answers.
It was a good look. I'm a sucker for end of the year in review type
you're a
things.
Sucker.
And so it's a good way to look back on the year. We did it in a competitive format, and we moved it along fairly quickly thanks to old team missing this portion of it. So we didn't get to talk about mushrooms as much as we had in the previous edition of it.
Managed to get rid of Mushroom Megatron, and now we're on the clock somewhat more so. All right. Whoa Nelly, which hopefully will at least include a reference to the power rankings, because I have not read them today, and I'm very curious to see what the Packers' position is in the estimation of the 32 Rob Demovskis of the ESPN NFL Nation. We'll find that out and play Whoa Nelly next. It's Wilde and Tausch.
This is Wilde and Tausch, driven by Zimbrick Chevrolet in Sun Prairie on 100.5 ESPN. See their full inventory at ZimbrickChevrolet.com.
Mark Tauscher here, wishing you happy holidays that are merry and bright from the great team at Everlight Solar. 'Tis the season to take back control over your energy bill by making the switch to solar. My family, we trusted the team at Everlight Solar to help us make the switch. And from the very beginning, the awesome Everlight team helped educate us on all the benefits of switching to solar. As they explained things along the way, the process was super easy. Make it your resolution to make the switch to solar energy. Join our family in creating a greener environment for ourselves and for our community. Save money and help save the planet by making the switch to solar. Learn more and schedule a free consultation at everlightsolar.com. That's everlightsolar.com. And happy holidays from the entire team at Everlight Solar.
Evan, Canty, and Michelle are unsportsmanlike.
Here's what I'll do. I'll get the smoked buffalo wings, have the blue cheese on the side, but then I'll get an order of fries with cheese and bacon on them, and I'll dip it in the ranch.
Wait, that sounds amazing.
It's outstanding.
One of the weird food joys in my life is when you're eating buffalo wings and you dip it in the ranch and the buffalo sauce gets in the ranch.
Oh, it's great.
Elite.
Unsportsmanlike, weekdays from 5 to 9 on 100.5 ESPN.
How good would it feel to start the new year by losing those unwanted pounds? At Madison Weight Loss, our Metabolic Reset program can help you finally lose those pounds without all the stress and frustration of trying to figure it out on your own. The secret is our program helps reset your metabolism so you can keep the weight off for good. Learn how our clients on average lowered their metabolic age by 17 years. Go to MadisonWeightLoss.com now to schedule your free consultation and learn why your metabolism may be sabotaging your goals.
Hey, it's Jesse Nelson, and everyone's always looking for ways to be healthier and lose weight as we start a new year. Contact the team at Madison Weight Loss. Do what I did. Make that call and lose up to a pound a day.
Now is the time to end the cycle of weight gain and frustration without packaged food or injections. You could lose 20 to 30 pounds in just 60 days and have the tools to keep it off long term. You can do the program in person or virtually from anywhere you live. Schedule your free consultation now at MadisonWeightLoss.com. That's MadisonWeightLoss.com. Results may vary.
For a truck that gets the job done, drive a 2024 Chevrolet Silverado EV work truck from Zimbrick Chevrolet. 393-mile range, over 12,000-pound towing capacity, 510 horsepower. Save $12,500 with 0% APR for 60 months to well-qualified buyers through GM Financial. Monthly payments equal $1,667 per $1,000 financed. Offer ends January 2nd. Zimbrick Chevrolet, East Madison, Sun Prairie, and ZimbrickChevrolet.com.
Every event tells a story, from the first impression to the final moments. Have someone guide your guests through every chapter the way you want the story told. Hi, it's Jeffrey from Celebrations Entertainment. With a strong presence, great voices, and an award-winning team, trust us to guide, direct, and inform your guests through all the different chapters of the day. For fun, memorable entertainment for any event, please visit us at celebrationsentertainment.com. That's celebrationsentertainment.com.
Grassland Dairy is built by tradition right here in Wisconsin and sustained by innovation. Since 1904, the Wheatrick family has worked with hundreds of dairy farmers to consistently produce the highest quality dairy products. Grassland's commitment to quality starts with the way their dairy farmers care for their cows and carries through every step of their innovative processing and delivery. They are proud to offer a wide range of reliable and nutritious dairy ingredients. Grassland Dairy is family owned in Wisconsin and has been crafting butter for 5 generations.
We are the National Park Foundation, and together with you, we're creating a future where every person, every generation, gets their chance at an unforgettable moment. Learn more at nationalparks.org/foundation.
Wilde and Tausch is brought to you by Tito's Handmade Vodka. Tito's makes the good stuff for good times. Find recipes, videos, and more at titosvodka.com.
It's a beautiful day. Sky falls, you feel like it's a beautiful day. To let it get away on the road. But you got no destination in the mind. In a maze of her imagination, your love is down.
A Tausch-free finish to today's show begins with Whoa Nelly.
If the topic is good, the guys discuss.
Just the other morning I had breakfast at Tracy Rocker's house. His mama brought out 15 flapjacks. He said, Mama, take back 5 of them flapjacks. I gotta stay hungry for the Crimson Tide.
But if it's not, the show must go on. It's time for
Whoa, Nelly!
on Wilde and Tausch.
So we're going to get to power rankings in a second. Before we do, I have a story that I wanted to share with you real quick, Jason, that Tausch, I think, would have appreciated had he been here to hear it today. Becca and I, my wife Becca and I, went out to dinner last night, and it was at an establishment that I won't share free advertising for. But it had one area where there's a bar that you can go sit at. It was very crowded. So there was a bar area where you could go sit and kind of wait for a table to be available. We put our name in for a table, and then eventually we went and go sat at the table. When we went to sit at the bar, we sat down, and the bartender came over and said, "Are you guys doing drinks or dinner here also?" And we kind of looked at each other. We hemmed and hawed for a second because we hadn't talked about whether we wanted to just eat at the bar or not. We were like, I don't know. And she's like, all right, I'll come back. And then we ended up just ordering drinks. We got one drink, and then we ended up like saying, okay, we're ready to close out. And
What'd you get?
I don't remember. Margarita of some kind.
Okay.
It was like a fruity margarita. It actually tasted delicious.
It's very odd.
So we sat there about 20 minutes. We had our one drink, and then table was getting ready, so we were getting ready to close up. So we asked if we could get the check. And bartender says yes. And she says, do you want that together or separate? And then I said together right away. And then she looked at Becca and said, do you want yours separate or not? And I was like, whoa, what is that for? And then I realized...
No way you're with this guy.
And then I realized she thought we were on a bad first date. Because we sat down, we weren't sure if we were going to stay for dinner. We were closing up after one drink. I had my hand like under the counter where we were sitting, so she couldn't see that we were married. And she thought we were on a bad first date that we were wrapping up. And she thought I was trying to mooch and get Becca to buy me a drink and then leave. So
did Becca feel like you were on a bad first date is the real question.
At times, I'm sure she did. But I realized I was offended at first, and then it happened again later when we cashed out at the actual table. The waitress asked if we wanted separate or together, and it was kind of like she didn't make the same implication that the bartender did. But I realized I actually commend the bartender for the way she handled that, interpreting that we were on a bad first date. She didn't care what I had to say. She just went to Becca and said, what do you want, this or that? And I think it was actually a respectable move. So at first I was offended. And now I want to say props to the bartender last night for, I think, handling that the way that she probably should have, and I'm sure it wasn't her first rodeo.
I'm sure she has seen her share of bad first dates in her career. I would be more troubled by the fact that your level of engagement with your lovely wife led to a stranger to interpret the scenario as a bad first date. You know, you're kind of feeling it right now too, right? You're skinny Jesse now, and I wonder if you just put off a vibe of this guy's a bad first date guy.
I was definitely
led to this.
I was looking at the phone a lot. We were both texting a little bit as we were sitting there. I was looking at the Lions and 49ers game had just started.
Oh,
so
man. Is this causing you to re-examine how you engage with your lovely wife when you're out in a public setting?
No, I don't think so at all. I think, if anything, it actually shows you that we're at now a stage of comfort where we don't have to.
Where we don't even talk.
You don't have to do the whole thing the entire time. Like, if we want to turn it off for a second, just check our phone and look at how the Jameson Williams-led Detroit Lions offense is helping propel me to a fantasy football championship, that's great. Like, we can just do that. It's okay.
All right, if you are in the YouTube portion of the program right now, I want your comments on Jesse not viewing this as a potential growth opportunity to say, this bartender thought that Becca was on a bad first date with some schmo. Maybe I need to alter how I behave when we go out together to let everyone know that we're a happily married couple that we are. So chime in the YouTube comments, and we'll read a few before we go if you've got anything.
Or not.
Whoa, Nelly! Oh, no, we will. I'm still in charge of this ship.
How about the power rankings?
Yeah, let's get to those.
ESPN's NFL. Now, I don't know what to do without Tausch here. What do you want to bring him or fling him? I don't know what we're.
I gotta be honest. I just want to know where the Packers are at.
All right. So, in at number 1 this week, new number 1. Oh, no, same number 1 as last week. I apologize.
Nailed it.
The Kansas City Chiefs. Apparently, they leapfrogged the Lions last week. I forgot about that. Number 2, the Detroit Lions, after their nice win on Monday Night Football, helping propel Jesse to a fantasy championship. Wilde and Tausch team, tough loss, second place in our league. Second place. Tim and Madison gets the big win. So nice for Tim. Or maybe, I forget where Tim's from. Nice win, Tim.
What does Tim get for winning our league?
Nice win, Tim. I don't.
So he doesn't win anything? Like he doesn't win like a prize pack or
I don't
anything?
remember, and I don't want to say he wins something he doesn't win, so I'll check what Tim won, and we will report back later this week. How about that?
Thank you for your
nice
service.
Win. I don't want to tell him he won nothing if he did win something, but I don't want to promise he won something if he didn't win, so I'm just going to say I don't know what he won. Pride for sure.
Sure.
Number 3, the Buffalo Bills, who everyone's picking to beat the Chiefs and win the AFC, and it's their year, and I'm warning you now, people, nut-whack. Don't fall for it like everyone did last year. Or fall for it, and then I'll pick the Chiefs in a playoff pool and win it. Like, that's what I did last year, too. It's becoming a lot about me. Number 4, the Minnesota Vikings.
Apparently so are your first dates with your wife.
Which is surprising that the Vikings are 4. I thought they would move up after the...
So wait a minute. So where do who do you want them to move up in front?
Over the Bills. I'd put the Vikings over the Bills after beating the Packers the way they did.
Bills have that win over the Chiefs. They've got who is the best win that the Vikings have? We've been all over the Packers for this, right? And their wins over the Packers probably don't count.
Oh, I'd say the win at Lambeau, going up 28-0 at halftime.
That was impressive.
Yeah,
no doubt about
win.
it. They beat the 49ers earlier this season. The 49ers were injured for that game. They've been injured all year. But, who's their best win? As you scroll through the Vikings' schedule, their wins, in order, are over the Giants, the 49ers, the Texans, the Packers, the Jets. Then they lost back-to-back games to the Lions and the Rams. And then their wins are over the Colts, the Jaguars, the Titans, the Bears, the Cardinals, the Falcons, the Bears, the Seahawks, and the Packers.
Yeah. I mean, it's the same schedule we've played mostly.
Well, not we, Wilde and Tausch, but the Packers.
Sure, yes, the Green Bay Packers, yes.
Well, Nelly, where are the Packers, damn it?
Number 5, Philadelphia Eagles. Number 6, Baltimore Ravens.
Uh-oh.
Number 7, the Green Bay Packers.
So even though the Washington Commanders are ahead of them in the playoff pecking order, the Packers win out over the Commanders in this power rank.
They do. Packers actually were 7 last week, and even though they lose at Minnesota, they do remain 7. The Chargers are up 3 spots, big movers to number 8. The Commanders are number 9, with Pittsburgh rounding out your top 10.
I don't know, man. That 0-5 against the 3 teams with better records than them, I thought they would drop farther, frankly. So, good for them. And it doesn't really matter because unless something changes this weekend and the Packers win and the Commanders lose, Packers will be the 7th seed, and they've got a difficult road. I want to remind everyone, because I've seen a few of these references on social media, the NFL reseeds after every round. So the Packers, if they are the 7th seed and somehow they win in Philadelphia, they don't then lead into the bracket of the next game.
They don't get Washington or the Rams, right?
Right. They would get the number 1 seed coming off the bye. So whether that turns out to be the Vikings or the Lions, if the Packers are the 7, then they get the number 1 seed. There ain't no other way about it. If they somehow win, they will be the lowest remaining seed, and that would mean facing the top seed, whoever that ends up being. So they got to beat number 2 and number 1. That's why Dan Quinn yesterday, in part, was screaming from the mountaintop, we're playing our guys, we're playing to win. We do not want to drop to the 7th seed. The 6th seed matters. We're going to, quote, fight like hell for it. So, again, a challenge awaits for the Green Bay Packers and Matt LaFleur. All right.
By the way, Rob Domofsky's biggest offseason contract situation to watch, Jaire Alexander. Makes sense.
It's a good question. His answer, I think he knows what Jaire Alexander's contract situation is going to be, though. I think extending Zach Tom after this season would be the one that I'm curious if that occurs or he goes into his 4th season under his existing contract. All right, that is it for Whoa Nelly. We will close up shop coming up. Want to remind you, though, and look, I give Tausch a lot of grief. He certainly gives me a lot of grief, but what he and Sarah have been doing with AmFam and the AmFam Children's Hospital is just such a great thing, and I love the fact that they both do this. I know Tausch doesn't necessarily want pats on the back for doing it, so I'm glad to say it publicly. I love what he's doing. It's the season of giving, Badgers fans, and this year you can double your impact for thousands of children receiving top-notch care at the American Family Children's Hospital. It says my wife, Sarah, but it's Tausch's wife, Sarah, in the copy I'm reading. And Tausch are teaming up with American Family Insurance to raise funds for the AmFam Children's Hospital's virtual toy drive. Proceeds go towards therapeutic play supplies for pediatric patients, and American Family Insurance will match donations up to $50,000. So visit AmFam4, the number 4, kids.org to donate today. Again, that is AmFam4, the number 4, kids.org, and make sure you donate today. We'll wrap things up next. It's Wilde and Nelson.
This is Wilde and Tausch, brought to you by Grassland Butter. Grassland Dairy is Wisconsin. Learn more at grasslandbutter.com.
Mark Tauscher here for Pizza Hut. Going back to the days when I was a kid participating in the Book It program, I've always loved Pizza Hut. Now I love picking up delicious food from Pizza Hut as I make new memories with my family. And one of the great things about Pizza Hut is the number 7, as in their $7 Deal Lovers menu. You can now enjoy all your Pizza Hut favorites like pizza, boneless wings, pasta, melts, cheese sticks, desserts, and more for just $7 each when you buy 2 or more. Want a medium one-topping pizza? A chicken, bacon, Parmesan melt? Chocolate donut bites? Order them all for just $7 each. How about an order of 8-piece boneless wings? Chicken Alfredo pasta? $7 each. Order on the app or online at pizzahut.com. The $7 Deal Lovers menu, only at Pizza Hut. No one out-pizzas the Hut.
You, rah. Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin present your Badger Minute. Here's Pablo Iglesias.
This Badger Minute brought to you by the Great Dane Pub and Brewing Company, Madison's home for craft beer and pub food since 1994. Find the Great Dane nearest you and check out the menu at greatdanepub.com. Proceed with caution. Legendary running back Anthony Davis joining the Jump Around in ESPN Madison digital show. Davis touching on the football program's recent shortcomings with transfer quarterbacks, offering his view on the gamble taken when making the move.
And we're trying to do something that's completely different than how we operate. I don't mind us using the portal when we need the portal, but I think when you talk about a quarterback, it's a high risk, high reward. If it works out, great. Maybe you have a 10-win season. You know, the guy throws for a bunch of yards. If it doesn't work out, you're back to square one again.
If you're not getting windows from Santa, get as low as $19 per window and $81 per patio door per month. PellaWI.com.
My part-time service in the Army National Guard makes it possible for me to be more for the community I call home. My training helps me at work when I lead by example. My service in the Army National Guard allows me to keep my community and those I care about safe from threats. Learn more about how you too can live and serve part-time close to home by visiting NationalGuard.com.
Sponsored by the Wisconsin Army National Guard, aired by the Wisconsin Broadcasters Association and this station.
Grassland Dairy is built by tradition right here in Wisconsin and sustained by innovation. Since 1904, the Wietrich family has worked with hundreds of dairy farmers to consistently produce the highest quality dairy products. Grassland's commitment to quality starts with the way their dairy farmers care for their cows and carries through every step of their innovative processing and delivery. They are proud to offer a wide range of reliable and nutritious dairy ingredients. Grassland Dairy is family owned in Wisconsin and has been crafting butter for 5 generations.
Hi, I'm John Hayes of Goodman's Jewelers. It's hard to imagine, but Goodman's has been the diamond store of Madison since 1933, which means your parents, maybe even your grandparents might have shopped with us. We maintain the same high standards, honesty, and integrity that kept them coming back time and again. Keep their history and our history alive. Shop Goodman's Jewelers today in the heart of Madison at 220 State Street. We're online at goodmansjewelers.com.
The best is at Goodman's.
To those who've ever dreamt of their perfect event, those dreams are worthy and they are possible. Hi, it's Jeffrey from Celebrations Entertainment. With hard work, passion, and great music, we will make your event dreams a reality. Every event is a labor of love, with one-on-one planning, customization, and flawless execution. Bringing your event to life is what we do. For a fun, memorable event, visit celebrationsentertainment.com. That's celebrationsentertainment.com.
Dr. Schwab is a board-certified general surgeon who can help with many simple and outpatient procedures to alleviate varicose and spider veins. Visit StoughtonHealth.com to learn more. StoughtonHealth.com. Stoughton Health, creating excellence together.
Wilde and Tausch is brought to you by Tito's Handmade Vodka. Tito's makes the good stuff for good times. Find recipes, videos, and more at titosvodka.com.
About 90 seconds, which is good news for Jesse because things are not going well for him in the YouTube comments.
Imagine
now,
my surprise.
I don't think it's just because you've called them dwellers. I think they make some fair points. Like Jenny, who I don't know if she's ever commented in the YouTube comments before, but this has brought her to comment.
Jenny.
This is way too early in their marriage to be on his phone at the bar with his wife.
Not when you're playing in the fantasy championship, it's not, Jenny.
I blame the bartender for looking out for her. You're not at home, Jesse. Pay attention to your wife. Jeff and Monroe.
Oh,
who, again,
Jeff, no.
He's our guy.
No.
Just because Jesse is an inattentive date doesn't mean he can't be a gentleman and pay for his date's drink.
Yeah. Oh. Don't worry, Jeff. I got dinner.
Denver Dan, here's a bad first date. I paid all the attention to my now wife, told her to order whatever she wanted, then realized I didn't have my wallet and she had to pay. and they still ended up getting married.
Yeah, that's great.
And then John, who is a frequent dweller commenter.
I believe he's in our fantasy league, too.
Here's the thing. Leave it to Jesse to go Dutch on a date with his wife. Also, by the way, I think it was a $150 gift card for Dave and Buster's.
Well, see,
so apparently our fans know better than you.
I couldn't remember. Thanks, John. Maybe that's right. I don't want to promise it. We're going to check the official rules and see what Tim won.
Which you write. All right.
Would
that's
I
it for
have
us.
won the gift card if there was one and I won the league? Like, I kind of...
It would have helped us pay for Wilde and Tausch Fest if we ever have it. All right. Yeah. That's it for us today. We are off tomorrow for New Year's Day. We are back on Thursday. Megatron Tausch will join us again, digitized. Hopefully he'll have better audio connections. And then Friday, possibly... a Brian Bulaga Cousins sub of the day.
Oh, it's happening.
It's confirmed?
It's happening. Bulaga's in. Fresh off of Iowa's loss in the Music City Bowl yesterday.
Always good to have our favorite right tackle join us as a sub for our other favorite right tackle. That's it for us today. Happy New Year. Good luck with those New Year's resolutions that you start tomorrow. Have a great day. Take care. Be good.
Miss any of today's episode of